Hello, YouTube, and good evening. Oh, hi, Danny. Gosh, you're an eager beaver. How are you doing? And I'm glad you're here because I would like your opinion on the live from the other night. How did you? I know that you were kind of looking forward to hearing little bits and pieces. And I don't know if you've managed to. Sorry about the noise. I've got a mint in my mouth and it's stuck to one of my teeth at the minute. I don't know if you managed to see my upload from earlier today. I put the paintings of Walter Sickert up, and they're really creepy. So, as you are a real aficionado of the true crime genre, if you will, I would love to know what your thoughts were. Oh, so you got the whole thing? Brilliant. Because I just know there's been a few. Oh, don't worry about it, Danny. If you didn't see them, I think I uploaded them this morning our time. Because I thought I might have a little bit of a chat about that tonight. If just about the photographs that are posted of the different paintings to see what people think. They're very, very creepy. I think anyway. Hi, Paul. Hello, my lovely. How are you? Oh, and by the way, I hope Danny and Paul, anyone else who's in the US of A, if you all had a good, it was Memorial Day, wasn't it, on Monday? Earlier this week. And then we're currently in a national holiday for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee. So the public holiday started yesterday. So we've got a long weekend of holidays, 4 days. Hi, Green Eyes. Oh, my sweetheart. 3 a.m. Bloody hell. Oh, you probably want. Oh, well, I've posted 2 videos. One of them is about, it's only a couple of minutes long, and it's on the paintings of Walter Sickert. And I've uploaded some photographs of his paintings. So I thought we can have a little natter today. And then I've uploaded probably about, I don't know, an hour or so ago, maybe even not even that long, my sister and I having a conversation. Now, Green Eyes already know. I know that's it. The dog poo one. Green Eyes already knows this. I mean, I'll say so now because as I explained on a text where I hadn't said anything to anyone because I didn't want to be accused of sad fishing. Because we do get some hate watchers. My elderly aunt, who I was talking about last week, she had a really bad fall early hours of Monday morning. She'd been, well, she all she knows is she got out of bed and doesn't remember anything until she came to and phoned my sister at midday. She had probably been unconscious for upwards of 12 hours. And she had hit the dressing table as she passed out. So all week it's just been frantic because I just dropped everything here, and I live like over 50 miles away, which isn't a great distance, compared to America and Australia and what have you. It is quite a short distance, 50 miles, but in England it's a big deal. But yeah, she's fractured it's like a cheekbone eye socket. She's fractured her arm. She's got she's and she can't walk. But anyway, so we were there. Hi, Kathy, love. Hello, it's lovely to see you. You've been missed, my darling. What we decided to do was go over today and have a little. We had a visit with her, and we took party hats and cups and things, and did a little Jubilee party. And while we were there, thank you, thanks Danny and Paul, and that thank you. But while we were there, hi Frida, hi Mrs. Mercury, hello everybody. My sister, she's 3 sheets to the wind, Angela, and she's as scatty as they come. She really is. And if you were ever going to say there was a dizzy blonde, it's my sister. And you know, her heart's in the right place, but my God. And she sat there. So my Auntie Kay is in bed, and a doctor just been in because apparently she tried to get out of bed today and fell again. So the doctor's just been in. We're already laughing because I'd left the party hat on her head. So these like undersized clown hats. It's only about 6 inches. So she's got one of these on her head, plate full of food on her knee. Doctor had been in. And my sister starts talking, and she said, because she knows I don't go on Facebook, and she lives on Facebook. She went, "Oh, you'll never guess what." She went, "Boris Johnson's bringing back white dog shit." And I went, "What?" She said, "Boris Johnson." So my auntie, I'm just thankful she didn't have a hearing aid, and she's going, "What are you saying about that Boris Johnson?" We said, apparently he's bringing white dog poo back. So my sister carried on about it and on, and I said, "You know what? Hang on. I'm going to record this." And she went, "What for?" I said, "Because I've got a channel on YouTube and I'm going to record it and post it so people can realise how thick you really are." So that's actually what I did. Uploaded before, my sister telling me that I don't know who came up with this, but apparently they think that Boris Johnson is bringing back white dog shit. Go figure. Oh, thanks, Green Eyes. She's doing quite, yeah, she's doing all right. I mean, the bruising is horrendous, but yeah, she's in the best place, and I was really concerned. I know I mentioned it to you, didn't I? About I was really worried about her coming home. Hang on a second. Stop that. You're in bad books after yesterday, mister. Stop. And the occupational therapist came to see her and was trying to get her to walk with a stick, which she can't do because her balance is really bad. But then he was talking about getting her, you know, when she's discharged, to get her into either respite or rehab. They can't do, although he said rehab probably isn't an option at the moment because they won't take you with an upper limb fracture. So, yeah, Green Eyes. Well, so that's what he's saying, potentially going into respite. So he said that would be like going into a nursing home, but it's on a temporary basis, just so that they can start to rehabilitate her there until her arm is healed. And once that arm is healed, then they can get her into rehabilitation. But yeah, until that upper limb fracture is healed, then they won't have anything to do with her. Hi, Simples. Hello, my love. But he said they're definitely also looking at care from the you know, within the home. You know, they're going to get onto social services. So I feel a lot better now because I had visions. Me and my uncle have fallen out over it because he just seemed to think it was going to be fine for it to just come home, and I was like, absolutely no, not. Jojo, Mary, just checking in for a minute. No white dog shit here. No. Can I just ask, is white dog shit a thing in America, or is that just a UK special? I'm just wondering if it was, you know, white dog shit was a universal thing. So yeah, the whole conversation about Boris Johnson and white poo. No, she won't, Green Eyes. She can't walk on the Zimmer frame because she needs 2 arms to lean on it, and she's too unsteady to use a walking stick on one side. So I'm quite happy. And we did say and she didn't seem too against the idea. She was saying, "Oh, that doesn't sound so bad." I said, "It's like a little holiday." I said, "Looking on it as a little holiday." I said, "Auntie Kay, we're not putting you in a home. Don't think about that and think that that's what's happening, because it isn't. It's your decision." But my aunt Simples, after, it's my mum's eldest sister. So when my mum died, it was my Auntie Kay and my nan and granddad, who, you know, my dad was in the army and he was all over the place. So, so for all intents and purposes, she's my mum for all, you know. But she basically took us on when after my mum died, because we were only little. So, and she's never married and had any kids, so she basically, you know, she looks on us as her kids, and she treats my sister's kids as her own grandchildren. So yeah, But yeah, fingers crossed. I feel better now because I did say to the doctor, I feel much better knowing that that is an option for a respite or rehabilitation once the fracture is healed. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm 50 odd miles away from where she lives, and I was just really heartsick worrying about it. And Porky knows, you know, I was just saying to him, I'm going to have to leave here and go and live with her and Velcro on her knickers. Well, the thing is simple. You know what she's done? Now, bear in mind, this is what's happened today. She couldn't walk. She can't walk. And she decided to get into she's in a private room, not paying privately. They've put her in a side room, quite a big room, actually. Oh, Green Eyes, don't you worry. If you go quiet, you'll have nodded off. So she decided, instead of ringing the bell, because she doesn't want to bother anyone, she's gone to the loo on her own. She fell again and then didn't realise that there was an alarm bell in the toilet. So she's then crawled and scutched out on her bum across this flipping room she's in, out to the hall, to the door that goes into the hallway to shout for help. So we were like, oh, if there's any chance of getting her out of this and onto a flaming ward. She's just too independent. Oh, did she? Oh, your sister didn't marry either, did she, Paul? Oh, well, you know, it's a choice, isn't it? Some ladies, yeah. Oh, your mum broke a hip. Oh, that's good to know, Frida. She got brilliant rehabilitation. Oh, that's good. No, Green Eyes. They haven't done that to her yet. But the OT lad, he was lovely. Campers are row of tents, but he was ace. And he was saying that, you know, they'll do, because we had a safeguarding assessment booked in for her, which is the 16th. And he said, we'll do it here from the hospital. We'll contact social services and we'll do everything from here. So we need to cancel that assessment, which is due for the 16th. And then they'll do everything here. So, because he realised, but he thinks that this unsteadiness using the stick is her confidence level because she's fallen. Can go to a nursing home as a step down to going home. Yes, Simples, that's what he was saying. If they put her into respite, and he said that will be like a nursing home. All patients used to get a fall risk on admission, elevates falls, like having the bell in reach and sides on the bed. Well, we've put a side up on one side of the bed's got a side up. And then just to make sure that I wouldn't mind the signs in this room. It says, call, don't fall, right? With the bell. So she didn't bother ringing it. So we've now got the bell and it's on a crocodile clip to her a pillow. So she can't say now that she can't reach the damn thing. So, and we've asked for, you know, the airflow mattress because she's so painfully thin that she's, you know, she's no meat on her ass at all. So she's sore lying down, you know, and we'd got her, you know, them round cushions, the donut cushions that you get for piles if you've got really bad piles. Got her one of those, so it was easier on her ass. But my sister, she works in care, bit like the old, I don't know what they're called now. It's like a home carer anyway. Basically what they'd be getting for her when she comes out of hospital if she has the care at home. But my sister said what she needs is an airflow mattress. She had the like, you guys will know, won't you? Like bumps on them. They're in waves and troughs. So she said that's what she actually needs. And she spoke to the ward earlier. Years since I've been on a ward, but falls risk is a must. Right. Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think they have done it. Frida, because although she passed away 2 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Frida, love. But remember, she was really treated well. The NHS were brilliant. They are, I think, at this particular hospital, they are the bent out of shape. They're absolutely bent out of shape. But the doctor we saw today, she was, oh God, she was lovely. I just wanted to hug her. Her name was Olivia. She came in, hiya, I'm Olivia. I'm the doctor. She said, I believe she's had a little fall today. And she came in and she was checking her and, you know, and she's grazed her arm a little bit and she was checking in case she'd bumped her head. And while she's there having this conversation, then I went to my sister, oh shit, she's still got the hat on. So she's got this like micro hat, little Union Jack clown hat sticking on the top of her head. So that gave everybody a bit of a giggle. Well, I thought what I will do is to start off is just have a little bit of a chit chat about the slideshow that I put up earlier. For those who've seen it with the paintings, Walter Sickert's paintings, any of you that may have seen them and what you think. And I thought, might have a little bit of a chat around some of those. I know not everybody has, and that's absolutely fine. We're not in school, so don't worry about it. But yeah, because obviously I was just trying to get them up there, and I thought, well, I'll save it till I have a live, and then I can chat through some of the clues that I think are embedded, or that other people have also said are embedded in those paintings. So I don't know if you fancy up for that, or we just carry on chatting complete and utter shizzle. Oh, and did anybody go to any of the beacon lightings yesterday for the Jubilee, just on the off chance? I missed it here because it was absolutely pissing down. So I thought, well, I'm not going anywhere. You looked but couldn't listen because you was with the gremlins. Not a problem, Mrs. M. I know, Joe, it was. It's like little micro hat. Well, the thing is, luckily she can't hear. She can't hear because she didn't have a hearing aid then. So I was saying to my sister, because we always, if ever I put anything on, my sister would call me a twat in a hat. So I said, go on, I dare you, I dare you. No, she wouldn't have said it to him. I dare you, go on, I dare you to say twat in a hat. She's going, oh, shut up. Just like, yeah, the very disturbing green eyes. And to me, that's the sign of very disturbed mind. Simples is cooking. What you having, chicken? Trooping on TV last night. Oh, well, I'm going to do some catching up today. Because it's just been a weirdo last few days, hasn't it? We got Johnny Depp winning his case. Don't know what you all think of that as well. You've never seen them before, Frida, those paintings? No. Oh, God, Simple's on the stir fry. Oh, I came in from the hospital and I've been out a good few hours. And Porky had went and got me fish and chips because we've got a chippy at the end of the street. So I've had a chippy tea. Oh, concert later on, Greener. Who's on? Saw the Queen on telly. She's really aged. I almost felt sorry for her. Well, apparently she couldn't attend the service today, could she? Because her mobility's gone. It just gives you a shock. Oh, Simples, yeah, I know you messaged me that. Have you all seen what Simples was saying? Johnny Depp was in a pub in Newcastle yesterday, and a friend's, was it yesterday or the day before, wasn't it? And a friend's son got a photo of him. Yes, Danny, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. What do you all think? You see, I saw that she is planning an appeal, and her solicitor was up on a talk show or a news show, whichever, saying that she absolutely is going to appeal. But yeah, I would. Do you mean having a snog, not a photo? Green eyes. I'd be telling him to come in. You don't need to sit on that bar stool as long as my face is in existence. Come here. Come hither, Mr. Depp. Come hither. Well, that's it, Green Eyes. But this is what I was about to say to everybody and to Danny. In order for her to appeal, she has to already have the money available to pay him. So it's working out about 8 million after. But I think she has to. So it's 10 point something million, isn't it? Is it 10.3 million in total? Because although the punitive damages were 5 million, but there's a cap on them, isn't there, in Virginia? So it's just under 400,000. So for the sake of argument, we'll call it 10.4 million. Okay, so his actual damages were 10, and he's got just under 400,000. Okay, so apparently, in order for her to appeal, she has to have those funds that she owes him, which is the 10 point almost 4 million, and have them put into bond prior to going ahead with an appeal. And then I hear her solicitor, her lawyer, saying yesterday, when they said, has she got the money to pay me? She went, no, absolutely not. She's not got it. So I don't know how she's going to intend to appeal, because that is going to be, you know, the laws. I don't know if it's right across America, but definitely in Virginia, she has to have the full amount of damages that she owes, or she, you know, Johnny's been awarded, regardless of the fact that he has to pay her 2 million. She has to have the full 10.4 and hold it in bond prior to starting any form of a an appeals process. Hi, Paula. Hello, my darling. I'm just having a little waffle about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Oh, is Chucky up to something, Mrs. Mercury? I love that. Chucky and Damien and is it Carrie, isn't it? Carrie, Chucky and Damien. You're in bed already watching Toy Story 3 with Chucky. No, she hasn't got any chance, Green Eyes. Absolutely none whatsoever. You know, and I saw there was a piece in The Guardian, and I'm really sorry, but I hate The Guardian. Anybody who enjoys reading that trash, I'm really sorry. I can't abide the damn paper. And basically, despite him winning, you know, if she'd won, they wouldn't have a problem with it. But they're now saying that basically it's all down to misogyny and poor Amber Heard. They've obviously not listened to any form of evidence, and I must admit, I shouldn't laugh, but did anybody, AH is so used to getting her own way. This for me has got, yes, it is, Paula, and I loved it. And, you know, and I'm not wanting to victim blaming, but she ain't no victim. She's not. If that man had done this kind of thing before, it would have been, people would have known. Somebody would have said, how come he's on good terms with well, I'm saying everyone, all of his ex-sexual partners and or long-term relationships, apart from Ellen Barkin. And Ellen Barkin is the only, is it Barkin or Birkin? Barkin? Ellen Barkin? She's the only one. And then I still think that is because he fired her off. He'd met somebody else. She was only a bit of a casual thing. She was a couple of years older than him. It was a bit of casual sex. It wasn't a committed relationship. And he basically did what a lot of young men do before they know any better. Even the decent young lads. Both my brothers have behaved like this. You know, they're just like, instead of just explaining to someone and going, you know what, it's been really good fun and I had a great time, and, you know, we've got on, the sex was great, but I don't want it to go any further. And if they don't take that for it, you know, they won't accept that explanation, then at that point they should say, you know, I've met somebody else. Now, you know, unfortunately, and some women do it as well, but you know, in my opinion, it's basically been men that have done it, younger fellas who haven't got the maturity, and instead of doing the explanation, they just ghost you. And that's what he did. He ghosted Ellen Barkin, and she's never forgiven him. So when she came up and gave evidence, you could see she was a salty bitch. Yeah, Kate Moss, she definitely put the nail in. And did you, oh God, did you see the jealousy hanging out of Amber's face when Kate was up on screen? Because, you know, Kate Moss is there. She hasn't got a scorrick of makeup on her face, had she? She's got a hair. She's not done up with a fancy hairdo. She's not got a professional makeup done. She's just there looking fresh faced, and she still knocked Amber Heard out of the ballpark as far as her looks went. Natural beauty. Probably she's a conniving biatch, and as for her sister, well, she looks like she just sucked a sting. Her sister has got a real downturned, miserable gob, hasn't she, Paula? So okay, Paul, we have moaning most weekends when it comes to choosing films. We had Horrid Henry 3 nights on the run. Yeah, I don't think they're a particularly nice family. And that description, I can't remember it exactly word for word, but it really made me laugh. Whoever it was that Johnny was sending a text to, and and he's admitted he sent it. That where he said she was like a worthless, overused, flappy fish market or something. He called her, didn't he? I was fucking dying when that came out. Overused, flappy fish market. And it's the other thing as well, like all the crazy feminist brigade are jumping, the real men haters, and they're jumping on the fact that he's joking about with Paul Bettany saying like, have her killed, and then the comment he made about he hoped that she was in a rotting corpse was in the trunk of a Honda Civic. I mean, these are just things you say. I've said shit like that. Who hasn't, in a moment of real anger, who hasn't absolutely ragged the merry shit out of an ex with a friend via text or email or phone call? Because you're getting your frustration out, aren't you? But yeah, they really, and because he said things like that, they're like, oh, he's a misogynist. Oh, yes, you can tell he's an abuser. Look at this. And he's called it a flappy fish market. That's misogynistic. He said he hopes that a rotten... And that thing where he said he wanted to fuck a corpse. These are just things that people say. It was like, he's not everybody's cup of tea. And I'm not making it political. But it was just like the whole, Donald Trump thing. When he made the grab him by the pussy comment thing years ago in a male-only environment. Yeah, it wasn't particularly nice, but guys talk like that. Women talk dreadfully sometimes. When we've all had a drink and there are no men around, you should hear the conversations that women have. So, it's just one of those things. He made a few comments and whatever. But they really, because they had nothing else... I'm glad she's lost. And I'll tell you what, I doubt she's going to be, she won't work again. At least not in Hollywood, I don't think. What do you guys think? I'll just go back over chat and see if I've missed anything. Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Paul. Better to use humour instead of anger. I mean, yeah, he is a very witty guy, isn't he? He's very, very funny. And he does huge. He does use very dry humour. But you've got to get that humour. That's what those texts were. Oh, I mean, if you were to see some of the texts I sent, when me and my ex split up and I found out, certain things, if I'd been taken by those text messages and a police officer had seen him, I'd have got locked up or I'd have probably been put in a lunatic asylum. They were absolutely deranged, but I was just venting. Yeah, I'm glad it's all over so we can get back to some real crime. I don't know, isn't it bad when you're actually hoping, you're so bored with celebrity drama that you actually want some real murders. Absolutely tragic, isn't it? Anyway, I was trying to think what else I was going to chat about. Oh yeah, so oh god, this dog, stop now. Do you know, yesterday we dropped the little porklet off at a grandma's, and we were only gone for about 3 hours in total. Coopy was a little bit upset tummy, and he had got over it. He was all right yesterday. Oh, what's that? Johnny Depp has been given the part in Beetlejuice before the trial ended. Good for him. The only problem is, Paula, that I mean, I don't think he has said he won't ever go back to Disney, and I actually believe that. But Pirates of the Caribbean isn't Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny, is it? Nobody will ever be able to replace him in that part or have a part that's comparable with it. You know, the dynamic, you know, with Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp and Keira Knightley, that dynamic of those three was just, it was genius, wasn't it? It worked really well. Yeah. No, you couldn't, Green Eyes. And I know there are calls, aren't there, for people to boycott the new Pirates movie because he's not in it. It won't do any good. It won't. I wondered with that character if that particular, even if it wasn't called Captain Jack Sparrow, if it was like trademarked to Disney, or if he could maybe pinch the character. It might not have to have the same name, but would the character be his invention? Because I think it was, wasn't it? I'm ashamed to admit that I've never seen any of the. Oh, Mrs. Mercury. They're fantastic. They're absolutely brilliant. The very first one, well, me and my ex went out to St. Vincent, and his family came from there, and we went out to St. Vincent and Port St. Catherine, and it was all where they filmed the first Pirates of the Caribbean, where the fort was, and we did 5, I think. Paul was, am I right that, yeah, Pirates, yeah, I think there's 5 that he's done. Believe him too, but you never know, the alpacas may just swing it. Oh, thanks, Paul. Yeah, I thought it was 5. But yeah, I've got a photograph in a bar, and it's got the signs, the sign up, you know, at the start of the movie, and it shows the skeletons of the pirates hanging, and there's a sign up saying like, you know, pirates ye be warned, and yeah, I've got a photograph next to that sign. It's absolutely. Sorry about this. I've got Porky is doing his stream upstairs. He plays what's the game he does on a Friday? Phasmophobia. And they do a stream, and I think there's tons of them, and they're all playing this flipping game. So at the minute he's in his office getting high pitched and excited. So bit like me when I see a really nice Mulberry handbag, but whatever. Yeah, I think Disney should, even if they never work with him again, they owe him an apology. They really do. A lot of people do. And I'll tell you what else I'm really pleased about as well, the fact that Dior never wavered. They didn't do, you know, like she was giving it about L'Oreal and saying, you know, because when all of this started to come to light, they stepped away from her. And although they didn't fire her because they were in a contract, but they stopped using her for the advertisements and using her as an ambassador. Well, Dior never did that with Johnny. They kept on using it because he's the face of Sauvage, isn't he? And I think they were saying that through this defamation trial, the sales of Sauvage has rocketed. Like Pirates, it wouldn't be the same without it wouldn't. Yeah, JD made Captain Jack Sparrow. Without him, it's ruined. You're right, Paula, and you're right, Frida. It's that crazy. I remember watching the very first one, and it's no problem, Green Eyes. You just rest your eyes, chicken. Have a bit of a relax, and we can have a bit of a. I mean, I can. I don't mind whatever you want the subject to be tonight. Anything, everything, all or nothing. I just thought we'll come on and have a little hour. Well, yeah, Paula, I'm saying that it's kind of like on my wish list. I had one. I had one Mulberry handbag. I'm not that wealthy. My friend, I've got a friend called Angela, and she is a Mulberry handbag fanatic. And when we were in York, Porky and I, the Mulberry shop's there, and I'm standing outside taking photographs of the handbags for her, and I was WhatsApping her going, look where I am, look where I am. I have and it is a real one. I like Radley handbags as well, though. Radley are nice. I've got a reel, and it was for my 30th birthday off my friend, and she's a very wealthy friend, so I wouldn't have expected anything from, anybody else, but she's just one of these. She buys very expensive gifts for people's birthdays. And for my 30th birthday, and she got me a Louis Vuitton handbag, and it's got like a scarf with it, and it is actually really nice. It's like an oversized bag. And I don't use it because I'm frightened of it getting pinched. So yeah, I just buy stuff off the market. It's there's no point me having things. The only things that I have that have got names on them. It's like things like that are worth the horses. I've got like toggy wellies. So, or I'll have huntress wellies, but only because they're comfortable. And I've got my toggy down jackets and my no, Paul, it doesn't. Wealth doesn't make you posh. Doesn't mean you've got any class either. But I'll still be common as muck, even if I won the lottery. I wouldn't be posh. I might live in a posh house then, or drive a posh car, but no. But no, my friend is wealthy and posh, but she doesn't do it as to kind of make people feel small or anything. Yeah, absolutely right there, Frida. You can't buy class. That's what I just said as well, didn't I? Although we're on a bit of a delay, but yeah. But no, but she's one of these that she's always had money. So it's not, what I mean? She's not like a new money person. Her family were very, very wealthy, and so they don't really look, you know what I mean? She wouldn't think about saying, going out and taking you for lunch maybe. And she did this to me in London once. We went out and we went out for dinner, and she's like, it's my call. I'm saying, no, mate, we'll halve it. No. We'll go out. My call. I'm going to take you. She's got us tickets for a show in the West End, which didn't come. We went watching Warhorse. And they were kind of at the front, best seats in the house thing. So she bought those, which I don't even want to know what they cost. Took us out for dinner, and the bill came after, and it was, well, for all intents and purposes, there wasn't a lot of change out of £1,000. And this is, we were having drinks and and a meal, and I'd have been quite happy going to a chippy or something. A random question. Have you been to any of the Jack the Ripper locations? Danny, yes, I have. And you may not have been in here the other week. What started me off on my my Jack the Ripper fest was when I was at school and we went on a school trip to London. Long story short, the coach that was to take us home, it either broke down, it was stuck in traffic. I can't remember what it was, because I think I was about 14 at the time, 13 or 14. And so we had 3 or 4 hours to kill in London, and we were all split up into little groups, and we went with our history teacher. So they put us into more smaller, manageable groups. Now, some were going around the Natural History Museum, and some were going to Trafalgar Square. And Mrs. Logan said to us, how do you fancy, has anyone heard of Jack the Ripper? And a couple of people had, but most of us hadn't. And she said, right, let's go and do a little search, and we'll go and look at all the places that Jack the Ripper did his murders, and I'll tell you who was murdered where and how, because she was obsessed with Jack the Ripper. And that's why, so she then took us, I mean, she knew, and she'd gone to university in London, so she knew all the locations, and she took us round. I mean, some of them aren't standing anymore, You go to like the general location, but some are. So yeah, that's the very long answer, Danny, is yes, I have. I would like to go at night and do a proper Ripper tour. And there is a good site on here, actually, Danny, and it's called Free Walking Tours. She is a lass, I think she's from Southern Ireland, called, gosh, God, this is dreadful. I think she's called Sinead. She's either called Sinead or Siobhan. I think it's Sinead. Good Irish names. And she does a Jack the Ripper tour, and she walks you around, you know, and she'll show you the different locations. And she did it during lockdown, so it is quite empty. The streets are quite empty. So, hi, bedtime clown. At the moment, we're just talking about Jack the Ripper locations. We've been talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. We're just, it's whatever floats our boat tonight. It's yeah, open to anything and everything, all or nothing. So if there's anything you want to discuss, give me a shout, and we can throw it out to the group. Because I think I'd just put in the description, chat about anything and everything, and, you know, kings and queens and platinum jubilees and Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and Jack the Ripper and anything we like at all. The only thing I'm not going to do is drama, as you know. So we're going to give that one a wide berth. Oh, and for those who would be especially interested, so Frida, I know you keep asking, and Green Eyes. Oh gosh, I don't know if you can hear that. We've got Porky screaming upstairs, and the dog started off barking. Cooper, stop. Hang on a second. Stop. No. No. God, do you know, he knows he sets the dog off and he'll still start it. All right, then I still think NC is a PO. And is that the one in the recliner, bedtime clown? Am I thinking of the same person? I get mixed up with everybody. Because I didn't know things going on with Shitlord, and I just, so he does. Yeah, but only because he shares a surname, bedtime clown. I feel really mean for him. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I've not. I mean, there are things cropping up in my notifications. You know, I think some of the stuff that Martin has been doing, but I'll be perfectly honest. This probably sounds awful. I haven't watched any of it, and it's just because I really don't want anything to do with Shitlord anymore. I just found it so tedious. It's dreadful. It's just the same old same, isn't it? Same shit, different day. So yeah, sorry. So Danny, I hope that one answers your question. But yeah, check out Free Walking Tours, and she will show you the you know, the tours of the different, some of the places, as I said, some are still there, most aren't, but you'll get a general feel. And especially I find her tour is quite interesting because the streets are so empty. It does give you, you know, you can pick a bit of the creepy vibe up of the area. Although I think I would probably be a little bit wary, especially in this day and age, a little bit wary of doing a Ripper tour at night in London. Me neither, just off panel with another community about gun control. Oh yeah, I heard something on the news. Isn't Biden on about stopping, or no, hang on a minute, is it automatic weapons? Oh no, it's assault rifle. Was it assault rifles? I think everything that can be said about shitload has been said. Need to jump ship, but enjoy the rest of the live. Much love, kiss my ex. Oh, thank you, Paula. Well, it was lovely to see you in this early as well, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the bank holiday weekend, if you're up to anything, or having a little bit of a party or what have you. But it's lovely to see you as always, Paula, and thank you so much. We'll have to get you up on panel next time we're sorry about this. My dog has just learned out how to open the damn bin. Come here. Stop it. Got one of those bins that you press on the top. The little bugger has worked out how to open it. And he's just got our chippy wrappers out of the bin. Can you believe that? What a sod. But yeah, I enjoyed it when Paula was up on panel. Do you remember? And she was telling us about losing a car and having to swap clothes. It was a good old story, that one. So yeah. Paul's asking Danny, if in case you're listening and not watching, how often do you do Manson bits? Have you been there was something that was good the other night, Paul? Do you follow the Paulcast that Danny's a part of, or just Danny's channel? Because she guests on the Paulcast, and that's all they talk about is Manson. It's really, I'm learning so much. Just things I didn't, because it's one of those cases I was never really, not that I wasn't interested, but that I didn't have, the knowledge to be interested in. So yeah. All right, Paul. Well, she does all the Manson stuff on the Paulcast channel. I'll just wait. If Danny's still there, if you don't, I don't know if you want to drop a link in for the Paulcast. But yeah, it's brilliant, Paul. Really good. They have some great people on there. Dead friendly group. Really friendly. Really good discussions. Bedtime. They argue. I'll highlight that for you, Paul, so that when she comes back in, she can see the question. Argue back and forth. The bottom line is assault rifles, semi-automatic, fully automatic rifles banned for years. Well, I know that one of my friends, well, I've got a few friends in America, like away from YouTube, they're not friends from on here. And they're just like, no way we're giving these guns up, they get really heated. Simple said, my friend's dog, Springer Spaniel, she bought him 10 new tennis balls. He was opening the package in the adjoining room. She says, bring mummy a ball, please. So over he walks eventually with a scabby old chewed up ball and plonks it on the floor. Do you know what I did, Simples? There's a guy on, actually, it's worth telling your friend about this fella. There's a guy on YouTube and he cleans and resells used professional tennis balls because they've only got so many bounces in them, haven't they, for proper competition. So from like tennis clubs and so on and proper competitions. So he buys these and they get properly washed. And the way they wash it is so that it doesn't affect dogs, because they know that majority of people want these. And then you can buy like 30 of them and they're brilliant. I mean, they bounce like, they're fantastic, so they're all things like Slazenger and Head and, good names of tennis balls. And I got a box of them for Cooper, 30 tennis balls. Put a bid, and I think it cost me about 15 quid, but yeah, there were like 30 of these tennis balls. And I just plonked the box in the middle of, stop. I plonked the box in the floor and I let him open it because he likes opening people's Christmas presents and birthday presents. So he scrabbled away at this box. And when he managed to get into it, I could see his face, his brain melted. He was like, it's full of fucking balls. And he just went bananas. So I tipped them out all over the lounge floor where they were going in every direction. It's the quietest he's been ever. Because he picked one up. At one point, he actually had hold of 3 tennis balls. I didn't know he could have fit 3 tennis balls in his mouth. And then he dropped one. Then he'd see another one. So he'd try and pick another one up. Oh, God, I was in bits. I wished I'd filmed him. because it was the funniest thing ever. So yeah, you'll have to mention it to your friend. Definitely get them on eBay. So they do last long, and it's great watching them. I always get them in hidden them for Christmas. They're like his Christmas presents. So what's your opinion, bedtime clown, on the whole gun thing? I'm presuming you're pro, with you being in Texas. Not that that should have anything to do with it, but yeah, you know. What was that song? Oh, it's All My Exes Live in Texas. Yeah, I mean, I wish we had guns, but that's just me. The gun thing, bedtime, about the banning guns or keeping guns, the whole debate, the bedtime clown, the gun debate. Because I know what's his face, wasn't it? Piers Morgan. Unfortunately, you sent him back to us, but I was hoping he would have stayed in the US. But he's totally anti-gun, isn't he? I mean, I'm probably the wrong type of person to have an opinion on this because, you know, I grew up with dad in the army, plus having guns. You know, it's no. I'm all for. I mean, there are going to be pros and cons to every argument, aren't there? Snooky. I'm glad we don't have guns. I'd be trigger happy in Cleveland with those bloody OAP bookies. Not enough carry. Oh, right, bedtime, no problem. Yeah, but I mean, do you remember what's his name? Tony, was it Tony Martin, Mrs. Mercury, the farmer who opened fire? Now, I'm not being, you know, and I don't think he should have gone to prison. And yes, they said that he, you know, they did him because he shot one of the guys in the back. I don't give a shit. Shot one of them in the back. You know, they shouldn't have been in his house. And you think about it, a farmer in a remote house, no neighbours, excuse me. Oh, bless me. Sorry about that. I got the sneezels. You know, he's got no neighbours. He's an elderly man. He's living on his own. And there's gypsies that broke, and they were from a gypsy site, weren't they? And they broke in and they're going to rob him. And he doesn't know what they're going to do. And I'm not being funny, but if you're breaking into somebody's house, then, you know, suffer the consequences. You know, it is what it is. They shouldn't have got into his home, and they got what they deserved. And I mean, let me think how to word this. There was somebody who you might all know, or you might all not, yeah, who you all know, and I'm not going to mention a name, but she used to live on a farm, and one night her and her ex-boyfriend used to have motorbikes, and they were kept in a garage which was standalone at the back of the farmhouse. And one night when the boyfriend wasn't there, the girl heard some noise coming from the farmyard in the early hours of the morning, and the garage was probably 10 feet from the back of the farmhouse and just set off slightly to the side. So when this person that you probably all know went to the window to have a look out to see what was going on, because the dogs weren't barking, they were growling, there were two guys trying to break into the garage, and they had a crowbar and a couple of, well, it looked like another crowbar actually, but really long. Apparently it looked like it was really long. And I'm not doing this. I'm not very good at this, am I? And yes, so she looks out the window. She sees these two guys, and she realizes that, you know, this farm is in the middle of nowhere. she's on her own. What does she do? She's got an air rifle, and she loaded the air rifle up with pellets. And apparently, the air rifle actually had an illegal spring in it. So instead of the legal 12 pounds of pressure that it was throwing out, it was actually shooting at 32 pounds of pressure. So technically, it would have been a firearm, apparently. So she shot a pellet at one of these guys who was breaking into the garage, and it hit him in his arse cheek. And and basically put an end to the theft, or the potential theft. So that's all I'm going to say. So I'm actually all for guns anyway. I think you should be allowed to defend yourself and your property. Danny, sorry, Paul, I'm behind. Got a phone call. We did Manson episodes every Monday and Friday night on the Paulcast. There you go, Paul. I will put Danny's comment up there. Thanks for that, Danny. I mean, I don't know if you want to, as I always say, feel free to drop your link in for your own channel and for the Paulcast. You're very welcome, because I think Paul is saying that he's only following you. I don't think he's following Paulcast. So by all means, if you want to stick a link in, drop a link. Oh. Right, I just need to get this. No problem at all, Danny. No problem. I always do. You know, you put some good stuff. I'm going to have to give this dog a little bit of water, because he's doing his usual thing where he's got himself overexcited and he's now trying to eat everything in sight. So give us a sec. Cooper, come here, lad. Cooper, come here. What's this? Come here. What's this? Come on. You can hear me trying to feed him this stuff. I've never known a dog like this for getting himself so worked up. He gives himself heartburn, and that's purely just because he's a little anxious devil. Yeah, that's different, but general crazy ass people would make a mockery of it. Well, they would, Simples, and they do it in every country, don't they? But, you know, I'd probably be dead by now. In my younger years, I could be quite volatile. I've aged with grace and serenity. Oh, grace and serenity, eh? I've not. I seem to be getting more crabby as I get older. But I don't know if that is just me not suffering fools, maybe. It's like, you know, there's been some stuff going on here, going on here, I should say, on YouTube. And I had a couple of messages from somebody that, you know, this person was nice messages, but it was just something they thought that I should be aware of. And I was just like, now I really don't care. Probably 10 years ago, I might have absolutely exploded. But now I think as I got older, like you say, you know, you've aged gracefully. I'm not so much gracefully. I'm not as reactive. I think that's the correct word for it. Grace can be a bit of a bitch, but serenity is okay. Hiya, Julia. How are you this evening, my chicken? I think, oh gosh, I don't know what to do with this damn dog. He's off again. Right, I'm going to give him a potato. Don't know if anybody else ever tries this with the dog. Sometimes when he's got the really bad heartburn, if I give him a potato, he just sits and he chews it, and that seems to work. So let's see if this works. Take that tater. Go on. Go on. Right. God, flipping dogs, eh? Who'd have them? Right, let's try again. Yeah, your sister always says choose your battles. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. What's that phrase? Don't walk into a room unless you know how you're going to walk out. That's always a very wise bit of a wise bit of advice to adhere to. So, what would you like to talk about now? Anybody got any pressing, interesting things? Do you want to have more of a chit chat about the paintings? Do you want to talk about, let me have a think, any of the paranormal stuff? Any true crime stuff, although you know that's not my big thing. And then again, if anybody's got any links you want to put in, especially for Danny, if you want to drop Paulcast of your own in, please do, and I'll highlight them, put them up on panel. Paranormal. So Mrs. Mercury's all for the paranormal. Well, now this is what I was going to say. So Mrs. Mercury, Simples, who else? Frida, Green Eyes specifically, and obviously everybody else, Julia, Kathy. Porky has ordered even more of his stuff, which is, I think some's arrived today. Oh, there you go, Mrs. Mercury. Porky decided where he's going and what he's doing. I think he has, but he's just not including me in the equation. But he ordered some more stuff. He's got hang on, he did tell me what it was. A REM pod and now, did he say it was an EVP voice recorder? And there's something else. Well, one thing's come today, and I think another two things are coming tomorrow, or two things came today and one thing tomorrow. But I've been out all day because I've been at the hospital with my aunt, so I've missed his deliveries. But yeah, he's got all these things coming. So yeah, I've just got no idea where he's going. But by the sounds of it, it's going to be some abandoned building. He said he was thinking of an abandoned building, but I don't know which one. But I'm going to be really jealous. I want to be there, but I think I'm going to miss the maiden voyage, if you will. But yeah, he's all up for that. As I said, no, Mrs. Mercury's not afraid of spookies. Because I said, would you not pee yourself? He reckons even if he might have be ready for peeing himself. Cooper, stop now. Stop it. Stop. Yes, Paul, he's in it at the moment. His man cave. How did you guess? I think all men have a man cave, don't they? I think, or those that are allowed to. But yeah, he's even got his own fridge in there. He ordered a fridge. It came a couple of weeks ago, so he's got his own fridge with his. He has his because he likes his vanilla vodka and Coke. He's got his scotch up there, so he's got his single malt. He's got Irish whiskey. He's got his vodka. He has all his Coke Zero cans. I've just given him some Simples and he's off again. Because I'm hoping I don't have to do it, but he keeps going to the front door like he wants to go out, which means I'm going to have to, if he does that, I'm going to have to take him out, which means that this is going to have to come to an end, but I'm going to, yeah, he's off again all around the floor. Cooper, come here. Come here. Oh, God. Cooper, come here, lad. Come here. Right, yeah, he's doing that thing, when they go licking round the floor. It's trying to get to the bottom of it. I think, they did tell me what it was. It's just it produces too much stomach acid, and unfortunately, this is the end result. Now, usually I have some yogurt in, but because he had the shits, I gave him all the... Here, Cooper, come here. What's that? There you go. Right. Your house is your man cave, is it, Paul? I've just given him some cream now in the hopes that will ease it a little bit. No, he's not scared he's going to vomit. He's just kind of he's kind of going around. He's licking the floor, you know. If he was outside, he'd be eating grass. But the problem is with him, when this has happened before, when he eats the grass, it doesn't make him vomit, and his stomach kept swelling and he ate so much grass. I've never seen anything like it. It was really bad. So I'm really loath to do that. But when we got home, I think I started to tell you guys, didn't I? When we got home yesterday, we tried to get in through the front door, and we have a dropped. So as you come in through the front door, we've got a little porch, and it's got dropped floor in it. So it's probably about. Let's just have a look. It is about 3 foot, 4 foot square. 3 foot square, and he'd gone in that, gone behind the front door while we were out, and had dug the carpet up. Because he said, what's he been at the carpet for? And I went, he's been trying to get out. And it's only today we've noticed he'd done it at the back door as well. He's actually scraped the varnish off the back door, and he never does that. And he'd obviously been desperate to get outside. So I said, the only time he does this is if he's had the shits, which is, has been a couple of times in his life that he's been caught out in the house. And I said, he's been desperate to get outside. So as we walked in, and I'm like, so he's saying to him, he said, come on, lad, where have you shat? And we couldn't find anywhere. And we went into the kitchen, nothing. Went into the lounge, nothing. And I said, I'll go and look upstairs. So, sorry, I'm just giving him some more. This double cream seems to work better than the milk. Bloody dog, look at your double bloody cream, you spoilt bastard. Come here. I got upstairs, and on the landing, luckily we've got wooden floors up there. On the landing, there was the biggest pile of shit, and it was diarrhea. It was just like brown gravy. So I was like, fucking hell. So I said to him, keep the dog downstairs. Don't let, because he was then trying to follow me upstairs, thinking he was in trouble. I'm like, you're not in trouble, baby. You're all right. So Porky kept him downstairs, and he was like telling him he's a good boy and, not to stress out. I'm trying to clean up this. It was just, I've never seen anything like it. And God love him, he missed every single rug that's outside the bedroom doors, and he just aimed for the middle of the wooden floor. And I said, that's what he'll do. He will not shit on a carpet. It's a good job we don't have carpet all the way through. Maybe needs an acid neutralizer. Bicarb does that. Don't know how safe for dogs. Maybe natural stuff. Yeah, well, we've got the wooden floors, but he won't go on a carpet. I mean, if we had carpet all the way through, he'd have had no choice, Frida. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Julia has the story about the ice mummy, if anyone wants to hear it. Do you want to come up, Julia? Let me just... oops. Let me just pop the link in just in case, because I don't know if you wanted to come up and tell it, but if you do, here's the little link. I remember you about that, the ice mummy. And then I can let you talk on it. Just trying to calm this little doggy down. I'll have to keep an eye on, because it's murder. It doesn't let me know that there's somebody backstage. Oh, and while I've been talking, I've put my flipping e-cig down again. Oh, do you know, I've got 2 now, and I still keep losing them. Best. Hi, Julia.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear us
right? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How's that for everybody in chat? Just give us a one in chat if you can hear Julia okay, please. And then
hello to everybody, just so you can hear me.
Yeah, Mrs. Mercury can hear you. You've got a thumbs up there. I can hear you fine. Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. There's a little tiny bit of sometimes there's a little bit. Yeah, it's simple as he's saying. Can you can you hear me, mother? Yeah, I think we're all right. If they can't hear you, I'm sure they will let you know. Right, because I'd forgotten you promised us this tale, Julie.
It's got a bit of everything in this tale.
Okie dokie. Let me just give me 1 second. Danny's just put 30 minutes behind. Paul, here is the link for the Paulcast. I'm just going to put that up there for you, Paul. Right. Okay, that's from Danny. Right, everybody. Julia has a fabulous tale for us all. If you're sitting comfortably, I shall turn the floor over to Julia. Please tell us your tale.
Hi, guys. This is the story of the Ice Maiden from Siberia. The Ice Maiden was discovered in 1993. This lady is known as one of the best archaeological finds in the 20th century. She's 2,500 years old and lived in the 5th century BC on the Uok Plateau in Siberia. The woman was so fascinating because she was the first one to be found intact, frozen inside her coffin, which was made of wood. It was placed inside another wooden room, and inside the room were items to help her in the afterlife. There were stuffed animals covered in gold leaf lying around on the outside of the room. There were 6 ceremonial horses which had been sacrificed to help her go with her. These horses were fully decorated with gold leaf and wooden jewellery. The woman wore silk clothes and had a very large headdress which represented the tree of life. She was covered in ornate jewellery, tattoos and mythical creatures, resembling animals such as reindeers, goats, lions, and there were also flowers on her skin. The lady has been thoroughly examined and was found to be the first known case to have died of breast cancer, which had spread through her body. She was 25 years old and died in the month of June. She was also found to be using cannabis to help cure herself and probably using it for the pain relief. She was buried away from other burial sites, which leaves them to believe she was a shaman woman with spiritual powers.
Julie, I don't know if you heard me then or not. We kind of lost you from where you were just mentioning about her dying of breast cancer and died in the month of June, and then we lost your sound.
Can you hear me now?
Can hear you now. Yeah, no problem.
So I'll go back to that bit then.
Okay, nope.
Well, where is it?
Fascinating. That first ever case of breast cancer. Wow.
Right, I've got it. Yeah, she was the first ever one to die of breast cancer, which spread through her body.
God.
She was only 25 years old and died in the month of June. You get me?
Yes, Julia. Yeah.
She was also found to be using cannabis to help her cure herself and probably using it for the pain relief. She was buried away from the others in a burial site, which led them to believe she was a shaman and a woman with spiritual powers. They found that she had copper and mercury up her nose and believed she was snorting this so that she could go into a trance-like state, which is why they think she had mystical powers. And the locals at that time might have thought it. They believe she knew her death was coming because the wood for her burial was felled at different times, starting from 3 years prior to her death, which is the same time the cancer probably took to kill her. Today, there is speculation that she is either a princess, a shaman, or even a warrior woman. The DNA says she is of European descent, but the locals disagree with the findings. There's also a curse that started when the excavation was taking place. The people involved started to get headaches and suffered from bad nightmares. One of the archaeologists explained she was having recurring dreams of her eyes being torn out from their sockets, and others were woken at night with pain all over their bodies. After her excavation, her body was taken away by a helicopter, but the helicopter broke down. She was placed in a refrigerator, which also broke down. She was then transferred to Moscow, but when she left the area, it started having freak weather and bad earthquakes. The locals started to get ill, and they believed it was because she had been moved. The people then fought the government to have her returned to them so they could rebury her in their sacred mountain. Today, she is still in a freezer and is put on show twice a year, as the locals are too afraid to look at her. They have made a replica of her and one of her in her burial state that the people can see whenever they want in a local museum. Because she was returned, the people of the area also believe she has protected them from the illness. Again, that includes COVID, as they have never had no cases of that virus there. I hope the people of the area get their wish one day and she is laid to rest again and she can be a legend for the future. Thank you very much for listening.
Wow. That is really freaky. Oh, Denny was just asking if that. It's Julia, Denny. It's the lovely Julia W. who told us the wonderful ghost stories with her son. Just tell us about the Siberian Ice Princess. I didn't know any of that, Julia.
It's very weird, isn't it?
It is. I mean, obviously, for first off, that to die at 25, riddled with, because obviously she's been riddled with it, hasn't she? If it was breast cancer, but it's spread to the extent that it's killed her at 25. I mean, that's horrendous, isn't it? Horrendous at any age, but when you think 25-year-old. But then the fascinating thing that using cannabis of all things to either try and cure it or for the pain relief. I mean, wow. I need to look into more.
The scientists have found out all that from her body.
I know. It's but you see, they knew so much, didn't they? You know, back. Do you remember? The Iceman that was found in the Alps, Ötzi. Do you remember he was found on the Italian and Austrian border, and there was a load of fighting about who owned his body? And when they checked him out, he had these tattoos. I mean, he'd been killed by an arrow, so and they've just done a film recreating his life, which I think is either on Netflix or Prime. I can't remember at the moment, and I think it's called Iceman. And he had all these tattoos, and it was only when they were looking at them and they said it was actually acupuncture marks where these tattoos were the same places that Chinese acupuncture marks. And they were like, how does somebody in Northern Europe, like 9,000 years ago know about Chinese acupuncture enough that they have tattooed these acupuncture points all over the guy's body. I mean, how?
I think some of Siberia was owned by China at one time, weren't it?
Well, Siberia possibly. Well, it's the Mongols, wasn't it? But Ötzi and that is like right the other side. You know, they're over far the northern Europe. We're talking Austria. You know, the Italian and Austrian Alps, I should say. So it's weird. Gosh. And let me have a think. What else? So she had 4 horses with her, did you say?
6 horses.
Horses.
All decorated like with wooden jewellery. She was covered in wooden jewellery as well.
Yeah. And did you say she had tattoos as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was full of like swirly tattoos of mythical creatures.
Wow. No, I need to look into this more because that's absolutely fascinating, and I'm glad that you reminded us about it. But how weird saying that, you know, the people who'd been involved in the investigation started having these terrible nightmares. I mean, that's like there's a curse on the land, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think she wanted moving.
No. Well, that's like what's his face, isn't it? Tutankhamun, isn't it?
Yeah.
The minute his tomb were opened, they were dropping like flies, weren't they? The guy who excavated the tomb, he died.
Have you heard about the Chinese one? About the demon that was trying to kill the king? And he got trapped inside an egg, a massive, it's like a ball crystal inside, but just a round stone, but inside the crystal. And the day that COVID's become a pandemic, it cracked open and fell in half. And like people are like the king got a defeat, but he survived. And then all of his people and everything around dying, and like the kingdom falling down, and he got someone to trap it in this stone or something, and it stopped the disease as soon as they did it. But then it cracked open.
I've not heard of that. That's a bit like the Ark of the Covenant thing, isn't it?
But I was watching it. That's a bit freaky.
No.
It's something to do with a Chinese emperor.
There were a few of them.
Oh no, I don't know which one it was. It's something to do with a stone, and the demon just trapped it in this stone. But the day COVID became a pandemic in the world, it cracked and fell in half. And there's a video of it like cracking, and there's just videos of it like getting spreading more and more and more.
There's big eggs all over the world. One's got a DNA sign on it as well.
It's not an egg. When it actually opens and falls in half, the inside of it's crystals.
Yeah, there's a big stone.
It's like crystals inside.
Now, did anybody, I don't know if you know this or if anybody in chat knows, while we're talking about, you know, funny things around the world and just saying about these eggs and stones and what have you, those monoliths that were appearing all over the place, I think there was some appeared in, wasn't it in, oh gosh, I'm trying to think where it was now. I think that was in one of the national parks in America, I think.
The steel one. The steel ones.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, it was.
They were weird, weren't they? And I know some people were saying they thought that they were, you know, it was somebody with an elaborate hoax, but I'm not so sure.
No.
I don't know. There's a 70-year-old woman who claims that she was doing. Apparently, she had a team of people and she built them and she got them and stuff. But could you build extras from the photo? But I don't think. How can one show up in England on a beach and be in Texas the day after? The exact same thing.
They've been all over the world, haven't they?
What, within days, they were jumping up countries. Even planes can't get that quick.
Yeah, it's like Oh, like, coming in and out a little bit there. I am. I don't know if see me little sidekick Denny's there. Does anybody just for 10 minutes fancy holding this live for me? This dog looks like he's going to throw his guts up. And I want to take him outside. Sorry, Julie, I'm not giving you a swerve off here, but I'm just wondering if anybody wants to come up with you and just hold me live for 10 minutes while I see if I can sort this dog out. Because I don't want to have to close the live down and come back in. But I noticed while the little Denny Doo-Doo was there, I didn't know if you fancied coming up and holding my live for me or anybody. Otherwise, what I might do is have to put it on hold for 5 or 10 minutes and come back, either close it down or just leave it open and let people hang around till I can come back. What do you think? Just read Frida's. A sort of gypsy woman came to my door. No offence to the travelling community. She wanted me to buy a wax rose. I didn't have any money to buy it, so she put a curse. Oh, she never did. She cursed you.
That's
They
weird.
can be bad people, them, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean,
You can't afford it. You can't afford it. It's simple, isn't it?
No, it's
Just line for that.
But you understand, if she's a true gypsy and she's got a curse on her work, if she's just someone who's following a fault, like who've never even done anything to be in gypsy curses, she can't do a curse. But because she says words doesn't mean it'll happen. She has to actually be practicing in the gypsy witch.
yeah. Frida's saying she cursed her right back.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I do kind of believe in curses, but I think it's the intent, isn't it? You know, it's if I and
it's who's saying.
yeah. Oh, Dennis shattered, but hang around the chat.
Man, make a curse. Like I'm no one. Like you'd have to be deep into witchcraft to do it.
Yeah, you see, I will throw a curse at somebody if they've really pissed me off. I will throw a curse at someone. However, I don't do it because I know that, you know, it'll come back. It will come back. And if you wish bad on people, it will come back in you. And that's just karma, isn't it? I would, if it's me, like, say if it were you, Jude, say you'd really irritated the life out of me and you'd been lying about everything, and I was to throw a curse on you, but it would be, the only thing that I would do would be, if Julia carries on lying about me, then this will happen to her. So it's down to you. It's not me throwing a curse on you. It's only going to happen if you continue with bad behaviour, if that makes sense. So that's the type of curse I chuck at people. Not
They won't be cursing me.
No, I wouldn't. No, it's got to be something really bad. If I've got no other option, it's like, right, you're getting a curse on you. Oh, hiya, Sam. Hello, my little darling.
In like voodoo and black magic and stuff.
It's how much people believe it as
If
well.
if I make a voodoo doll, of someone,
I think that's what happens in voodoo. They believe it so bad they're gonna get it, aren't they?
Yeah, but if you make a voodoo doll, and then you've got to understand when you're making that voodoo doll that you're gonna get reputation from it for doing that, or even curse. Just making a curse, you still get some bad luck in your life or bad things that will happen to you.
I was going to say, did your lad want to tell us his what's it stories? You know, they were going to say about the his encounter story. Do you remember we were on about it last time? If he fancies it,
you want to talk about your alien? What more were there to say when what you haven't said before?
I think it were just, you know, when he was talking about being with his friend, but because we were kind of rushing through it a little bit, weren't we? And I think quite a lot of people were interested, you know, and I think there was questions, weren't there? And we didn't really have time that night because you were losing connection, weren't you? So I didn't know if you fancied just, you know, going over it again, what happened to you and your friend that night, just, you know, chuck it out for the chat to have a little look across. What do you think?
Yeah, you can do.
Okay. I'll just let because I know a couple of people are just listening rather than watching. So Julia's son is about to tell us of his. He had an encounter when he was with a friend. They had a bit of a lost time encounter, and then following on from that, there were a few health issues and what have you. And he did mention it briefly a few weeks ago when he come up. So he's about to just go through it again for us all. So. I'm going to hand over to Julie. I'm going to mute myself so that there's no background interference, and I'm going to hand over to Julia's son, and he can tell us about his encounter. So, crack on, lovely. You have a go. The floor is yours.
Hi everyone. We were out fishing and on motorbikes for the day, and we were setting off back home about 6:30 at night. We were walking over the hills back from the reservoir, and we cut across the farmer's field to get back into town quicker. And we've walked 10, 15 minutes into the field, and we've seen just a red and blue light like halfway down the field, and we thought it was the farmer. So we went round the back of the trees to like stay away from him because we didn't know if we were allowed to go across his field or not. And as we were walking down, we carried on walking for about another 20 minutes, and we got to the bottom of the field, and the lights were sat on each post of the gates, and we were like, why are the lights there? So we thought, well, that's the way we've got to go. If it's the farmer, we'll just tell him we didn't know, and we just thought it were a trap. So we carried on walking, but the lights started coming towards us, and then we thought, so he's coming at us. So we didn't know what to do, and we both froze, and we just stood there quite a lot. And the lights came, but they were bigger than a car. Each one was bigger than a car, and it come over the top of us. As it come over the top of us, it was like a black curtain that was underneath it, and just went over us, and we couldn't see. None of us could see. And I turned to look at him. There was nothing. Everything was just pitch black, like I was completely blind. And I went to grab hold of him, and he's grabbed hold of me, and we're like trying to shuffle our way down the field in pitch black. There was no noise at all, and we both fell over. And I'm like what's going on? What's going on? As we stood up, everything came back, and like it was just going dark when we saw the lights coming up the field, and we stood up. It was pitch black, but we could see. And we're like, what's going on? So we carried on walking. We walked down the lane. We eventually get to his house, and his mum's going absolutely mad on the phone to the police, ringing everyone and asking everyone where we've been and what we've been doing. And we're like, what do you mean? We've set off back when you told us to. And like, why are you going so mad? And she's like, it's 1:30 in the morning. Where have you been? And we're like, we set off back at 6 o'clock. We walked down the field and come straight here, which should have took us an hour and a half. And we ended up there at 1:30 in the morning. And then we were both sat on his settee. With headache and stuff. And like, he took his t-shirt off, and I saw a mark on the back of his neck. And I'm like, what's that on your neck? And he had like a burn mark in the back of his neck, and it was just burned. And like, I don't know why, but I felt the back of my neck, and I thought, I've got it as well. And his mum started going mad, saying that the farmer had shot us, and she was like going to look for the farmer and everything. And then
we just lost you then, love. We got as far as where you said he took his t-shirt off and there were a little burn mark, and then you lost connection. So could you pick it up again from there, please?
He had a burn mark on the back of his neck, and for some strange reason, I felt the back of my neck as well, and I had the same mark. And we're both, his mum were going mad, saying the farmer had shot us for going across the field, and she's going up to the farm to go mad. And she ended up calming down. We said we didn't get shot because we didn't feel no pain at all. There was nothing, and we was awake the whole time. Even when everything went black, we was both talking to each other. Even when we fell over, we were talking to each other. And then he was led on the settee, and he got headache. And then I started with a bit of headache and feeling sick. And then I think we both went home, and we didn't think, we just left it, and we were a bit shook up, like what had happened. a few months went by, and then I started having fits and epilepsy and all sorts of other stuff. He started drinking and going crazy, farting, taking drugs, and his mind just left. And then he ended up getting locked away.
God, that's it. It's got to be connected there, hasn't it?
Mm.
You've not had epilepsy prior to that, and you've got it all of a sudden.
Yeah. There's a
So
couple of months after it.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. And then I ended up going down a path in my life, and I got locked away as well. And before that day, we were just outgoing people who just went out on bats, and it seemed to mess with our lives pretty bad.
Yeah.
And
So basically, you had what from 6 o'clock you seen the lights, and 1:30.
we set off from the reservoir about 6:30. We walked about 15 minutes. The field was massive. It took us about 15 minutes to get over the hill and onto the tree line. And where the tree line is, there's a little dirt track that goes in front, or you can go around the back of it. But the lights were like in the middle, like where the trees are. The trees are like a half moon shape in the field, and like we thought the farmer's park there, so we're gonna go around the other way.
It's up near the ringing tree where you were.
It's up Crown Point, up near the singing ringing tree.
Oh, we were up near there yesterday. Oh. So you've basically been missing for like 6.5, 7 hours, or rather, you've
round about 5.5 hours.
That's
It probably took us another 20 minutes to get round the bush line, like the tree line, and then I'd say we're about 10 minutes away from the gates, but you can see and then probably 40 minutes down the road to where he lived. So we would have got to his house about 8:30,
right,
roundabout. But we ended up at 1:30 in the morning, and his mum were going mad. And
have you ever fancied having? I don't know if you ever thought about it, because as some people do, having like hypnosis to try and remember. Yeah. You know, like that Travis Walton, because he didn't remember being in that spacecraft out. And he ended up, he got, I think there were 3 of them with him, this hypnotist and a couple of others. And then he started to remember, but he doesn't remember it in real life, only under hypnosis, what actually had occurred that night. Have you ever fancied having that done just to see?
Yeah, I've thought about it, but I looked into it a bit, and it's quite a bit of money. But if I ever had enough money to get it done, I probably would.
Yeah. Do you know what? I would reckon a UFO group, whatever, a paranormal group, I don't know, would probably have somebody who would, you know, on the off chance of them having an exclusive story, you know, they're the only people who've ever done it. They would probably do it for you for now.
Mm.
We'll have a look into this for you, won't we? See if we can, because I mean, I reckon it would be helpful to you, wouldn't it? Especially if you.
I've still got the scars on my neck. I know. I don't want to end up back in them problems of them days. But
yeah, well, yeah, that's it. Isn't it? It's does it stir up something that you don't want to be there, or?
Yeah, I kind of.
One.
He lost it pretty much straight away, and he turned into like an evil, vindictive person, and like he turned into a rather bully like person. He'd go out drinking and just fight with people for no reason, and then I ended up like going into myself and being alone, and then my head started switching where I wanted to hurt people, and I ended up getting locked away for a few years myself. And then I sorted myself out, and I got put on medication, and back to where I am. But I wouldn't like it to spur them feelings, but it'd be good to know if anything did happen.
definitely sounds like there's been some form of manipulation done, doesn't there? Like your thought processes, both of you. And maybe, I mean, I'm just wondering, like you said, he went a bit crackers straight away. He changed, whereas you didn't. You know, it was a while for you to change your personality to change.
I started having fits, and like I just went into myself and didn't go out much, and I'm more like a bit of depression like at start, where he was a complete opposite. He was just out all the time.
He was angry and you were sad.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe he had more of a memory of what happened than you did? Maybe.
He won't. Like angry. He will never. He won't speak about it to this day. Like he will not talk about it at all.
Yeah.
So he won't. Even I've tried to get it out of him on our own, and he just won't speak about it.
Yeah,
he either changes subject or gets angry or.
Yeah, I don't know what chat thinks though, but does that sound to you? Like to me, that sounds like somebody because he knows he's got a memory of it, and probably had a memory of it straight away, whereas you didn't, and you haven't. But you know, and that's caused all this anger and real weird behaviour. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, far from it. It's just one of them thoughts. I don't know what anybody else thinks. But
definitely sent him into someone else.
They said you said it from doing for no child, didn't they?
Yeah.
What was that, sorry?
They said that Declan had turned him into like an autistic child.
Right.
Messed up the brain.
You see, Simples has just said then he has a different memory of it. That's why your behaviours were totally different, because you've both remembered, or in your case, not remembered, you know, what's happened to you. And he has obviously remembered something different or seen something different. I mean, his experience might have been completely different. You know, there's no saying when these, you know, you get, let's say, because we don't know what it were, but let's say, for example, alien abduction. And you might get two people, and there have been cases like this, and a couple of people will go and be abducted at the same time, but they have completely different experiences while they're doing this abduction. Like one of them will be maybe experiments done, and the other one will just sit and chat to them. They're on the same ship and they're with the same aliens, but they have completely different. And it might be something like that. You don't remember yours, but he remembers everything. What happened.
It's just the scars that we both got it in the exact same place.
Yeah.
And it's the exact, they're looking at them, they're like identical. And it's just, it's like there's a hole being punched.
Like a stabbing.
No, it's like a hole punch in my neck.
And was there ever any like X-ray out done there?
No, but one of my girlfriends was once like she was looking at it and she was like, it feels like a spot, and I'm like, it's definitely not. And I'm like, squeeze it. I've squeezed it before, and she squeezed it, and some like glass thing came out of it, and we were both sat in my bedroom looking at it, and she had it in between her fingers, and as she snapped it, it snapped, but it turned to powder, and just there was nothing left of it. It was like, and it was like, I'd say as long as like a long eyebrow, and it would just click. It was like cloudy, like not like cloudy glass, but it was really thin. She's like, it's a hair. I'm like, it's not a hair. It's rock hard. It won't bend. It can't be an hair. And then as she snapped it, it just turned to dust, and she had like white marks on her fingers, and there were a little white mark on the bed.
Yeah, Simples is just
saying. That's the only thing that's ever come out of it.
It's because I know I've heard tales about. I mean, you know, I'm never gonna. Well, we're probably never gonna know who's telling the truth and who isn't in some of these weird and wonderful stories. But there are occasions of people who said like they've had an X-ray done, and they can definitely see a foreign object. You know, when they've had these, similar to yourself, they have these strange mark like a burn or a cut or whatever that they didn't have prior to this, you know, prior to being abducted. They'll have an X-ray done. There'll definitely be something there, like a foreign body in the body, and then the next time they have the X-ray done, it's gone. And it's like it's only got a certain lifespan in our bodies, and then it either self-destructs or disintegrates or is just absorbed by the body. I don't know, but that's why they reckon there aren't any traces found. Whereas you have this time, you know, you've got it out, but obviously it's come into contact with the atmosphere or what have you, and she's crushed it, and then it's just disintegrated.
And it was like it exploded. When she snapped it, like, it made a like a loud snap, and it was like
There is
powder,
some plastic does that though, isn't
and it was like powder, like proper powder.
I think they don't do it like a teardrop shape, and if they're really strong, but if you hit them in a certain way, they do that.
I mean, Prince Rupert's droplet thing.
Yeah, it's droplet or something. Teardrop or something.
I think they're called Prince Rupert droplets, but it was cloudy, not clear. Them are like clear with a right long spinny tail.
It might be something similar.
Something similar. Could be.
Right.
I don't know. Shannon, come here.
Because that does
Do you remember that thing that you pulled out the back of my neck?
It's the strongest thing, isn't it? But then
What-
when you hit
what
it in
were
the
it
right
like?
place, it was like a glass.
What happened when you snapped it though?
Disappeared. 1 minute it was there, next minute it disappeared. But it was just like flaming secret. It was weird.
That's...
I didn't say nothing. What happened to him? She just told you. You know?
Now, yeah, this is something I want to ask. So obviously, so she snapped it on a thing and it left a white mark. Did she have any effects off that being on her skin afterwards, like any rashes or burning or anything, or was it just like wash the powder off and it were gone?
Not really. You'll have to speak up, they won't hear you. Not really. I felt like a little bit dizzy for like a second or so, and then it went fine.
Wow.
You were
Symptoms just said here. Have you tried joining like a UFO group or something to see if anyone else has got a similar story?
Well, they seem to follow this family around, Kiss.
But I've had multiple over my life. Like that was just the first ever encounter. But I have had more.
When I was pregnant with, when I was in one of my old houses.
Yeah.
You know these new fashioned roller coasters?
Yeah.
Where they sit and you're sat underneath the rail with your legs dangling.
Oh, like that one at Alton Towers, yeah.
Well, Declan were born in 1984.
1994.
94. Yeah. Between having you and Aidan, I was led in bed one night, and I don't know whether it was a dream.
Close that door.
Shut that door from the baby. I don't know whether it was a dream or whether it was real, but I felt like I was being taken out my window.
Get off.
And when I was taken out to the window, I was put in a seat. There was other people on it as well, but my legs were dangling on this seat with a bar in the middle going up. It just, to me, when they started making these roller coasters, I thought, that's what happened to me. But it was years before they made the roller coasters. And then I don't remember after being put on this roller coaster thing and being took away from my window, took somewhere. I don't know where I went, and I don't know if I were dreaming or not. But after that, I got pregnant.
Oh.
So, because we get followed around by aliens, I were always thinking, did they implant me with something? And now they're watching the family.
It could be. Or
he's seen them. Declan, they follow her around. My daughter's seen them at her bedroom window. She was led in bed and she started hearing this noise outside her window. And she like moved to the side so they couldn't see through the gap in the curtain, but she could see them. And they were discussing or arguing outside a bedroom window. And there were two grey aliens in a bedroom. Second floor up.
I've actually got photographic evidence of one stood at the bottom of my bed peeking round my gaming chair, staring at me.
You get lost.
Honestly, I've got multiple videos, pictures. I've got quite a few, and it's very, very small, and it's sat with its arms through the chair, and it's just staring at me, like peeking its head round the chair, staring at me.
And I've got a photograph of my daughter, who's really quite thin, and she actually looks like a grey alien.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
if
Do you know
painted the
what?
grey,
You need your own flipping channel. You do on here. Honestly.
She's got the same features, everything. Her face is like pointed at the bottom, and then it goes wider at the top.
But I've kind of got a big head, though, haven't I? And it's even when I was young on photos, my head's massive.
Yeah, Molly's got a big head as well, but hers is totally different to you.
I know. She's totally different. And she's the only odd one out of the family.
You might be star children. I forget who were.
Because I remember going on that like a roller coaster. My legs were dangling. There were other people.
Who was you pregnant with?
Well, I went in Oak Street. Shortly after death, in between you.
No, I definitely think you need to get your own channel sorted out there, lad, with all that stuff on it. God, you'd have millions of followers in days. That's fascinating, absolutely fascinating stuff, that. The fact that you've got photographic evidence.
FBI would turn up at doors and say, yeah, they might experiment on us. Oh, no, don't even go there. We've had FBI.
Yeah, but if it's out in the public domain, they tend to like hold back, because it's like, if we put that up and we go missing, there's a lot of questions that get asked, and millions of followers, it is different.
Yeah.
But when you start leaking information, but when
they started making roller coasters, I was proper shocked, because I thought that's what I was on. I was sat on something very, very similar to that, floating outside my bedroom window with other people sat on it who I didn't know. They were strangers to me, but they took me from the bedroom out the window, and I'd ended up sitting on this thing, and then it set off, and there were other people on it as well. So I don't know where it took us. I can't remember after that.
Me and a couple of
and then
friends,
I thought, have I dreamt it?
we were like in a house party, and walking towards the back door, and there was a little square window when you have them toilets downstairs, but they removed the toilet, and there were a little window in the corner. And as he went to the thing, an arm came through the window and tried to grab him, and a girl was absolutely in hysterical, screaming her head off because she'd seen it. He didn't see it because he was turned sideways, and we're like, "What?" And as we turned, it come through the window, and its head was like through the window, but it was like it was lent halfway in and halfway out of the window, with its arms inside, and its head it weren't like a grey alien. It was more like a snake, like a lizard, or it had like scales on its face.
Me, it feels like they're following this family.
She was screaming, and like,
with every one of you having different experiences.
We had to ring an ambulance for her, because she was just stood there and screamed and screamed and screamed, and she wouldn't stop. Even when the ambulance was there, she was screaming. But like, soon
I have a thing under my skin as well there.
Oh yeah, you've got that.
Don't press it. I've had that years. It's under my skin.
But I've had loads of experiences, that just lights and things and stuff like appearing in my room, and just things disappearing that shouldn't normally disappear. And you can
Well, Maddie said they were outside her bedroom window arguing between themselves, having a conversation, and she could see them, but she was hoping they couldn't see her. And then once they like moved away from the window, she come out of the room. But she said there were two alien greys outside arguing with each other. Yeah. But she moved outside at things so that she couldn't see her. She led on bed.
And I once just laid in my bed, and I got dragged down the bed. And it was that bad, I grabbed hold of her and I dragged her with me. But I don't know if that were a ghost thing or something else. But It was weird anyway, whatever it was. But the little grey alien, it looked on the pictures that I've got on the video, it looked like a little boy. But you can tell by its skin colour. It's like a grey blue. And it's just like it's weird. And on the back of the chair, when it's peeking on the video, there's like a line
I don't
of
like
green
to upload these kind of things, or you
dots.
could upload them.
There's like a line
I know
of
you
green
tried
dots.
to send that video that I had, but you didn't get it.
Did you not get it? No.
You didn't get it. And I don't know my email on there.
If she had a Facebook Messenger, it's a lot easier as well. Because it comes straight through.
She can upload photos,
Mm.
but I can't. So
What do you mean? She can put photos on the screen?
yeah. So if we send her a photo of Maddie on that thing, she'd be able to see it straight away. Where all you kids are the same.
Yeah, Maddie's just
totally and Maddie's different. In the middle, and it's totally different.
She's like white as a ghost.
And the shape of her head as well, everything.
Her eyes and all, her eyes are massive.
It stands out like she looks like an alien.
Mm.
Should have a DNA test done on her.
But I don't know.
We'll try and figure out how to send you some stuff.
Where does she live?
Blackpool, please. Around that area. Have you gone, Kiss?
Has it kicked us off?
I think so.
Hi guys, I'm really sorry. I don't know what the bloody hell was happening there. Damn phone.
We've lost.
God, can you hear me?
Things and things go around.
Don't know. Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, I can't. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know if you could see in chat my phone. It just died. It literally just died. I had charging it, everything. It just went, and I couldn't get back in.
Oh, strange.
Yeah, I kick myself out. I didn't kick myself out this time though, Denny. It was literally my phone just was drained. The battery went from being, I think I were on about 65%, and it literally just went.
God, I said that about being dragged off my bed, and I don't know if it's ghost or like. Oh yeah, there's someone sat in the chair. Look at that. Can you see it's like the body in the chair?
It's like there's someone actually sat. It's crackling like mad.
What's that? You're looking at photos?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like trying to figure out a way to send them
to you, so you can put them up. That's the video where.
I wonder, does she have Facebook Messenger? Because I could just group them all together and she could save them off that.
I just keep losing. There's no sound, no anything. I can see myself talking. I lose Julia and her son.
It's happening for us as well.
It's drained. That's the weirdest thing ever. That.
I don't want you to know.
That's it. I think it is the aliens.
But weirdly enough, I was speaking about being dragged off my bed, and I grabbed my girlfriend and I dragged her with me. And I didn't know. Still to this day, I don't know if it was a ghost because I didn't feel no hands or touching me or anything. I just slid down the bed and grabbed her. And as soon as I finished saying it, it just went off.
Yeah, they don't.
It's a bit weird. That's true.
But this sometimes happens. I don't know if you'll recall, sometimes when we're talking about the paranormal and I'll get interference, so my phone will kind of die, or there'll be some weird, people are hearing weird and wonderful noises in the background. Mm-hmm. But that was just that, honestly, and I didn't want to be sounding like I was, being dramatic, but that's honestly what just happened, from 65% to nothing. And I got normally it says your phone will shut down in 30 seconds. Yeah. Didn't take me 30 seconds to run to the PowerPoint. It just cut off. But when I got my phone up and running again, it just wouldn't let me on. It's just so weird. But you guys get a lot of interference as well, don't you, with your phones and your Wi-Fi and what have you? I sometimes wondered, do you think that's a bit of outside influence, maybe.
It sounds like my voice changed.
Yeah, but there were a growl behind your
There were a
voice.
growl behind when Chris was speaking then.
We're getting some weird stuff on this side too.
Sorry, what was that?
We're getting some weird stuff on this side. It's like there's growls behind our voices.
What, tonight?
Now, yeah.
Just a minute ago, I just spoke and it sounded like I spoke and there was a growl behind it.
Oh, that's... Were you guys in here when there was that growl went off on my live at Christmas?
No.
Don't think so.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you'd been on if you joined the group at that point, Julia. It was awful. We're in
Yeah.
mid conversation.
That just turned around and said "Mama" out of that phone.
It just went, Mama.
Mama. My phone just gone, Mama.
Oh,
As soon as you started speaking, something just said "Mama" out of the phone.
oh, crack! Oh, this is turning into a freaky deaky one, isn't it? But
It's chatting in this, or is it just us like?
honestly, I'm chatting away like this, and over me you hear, and I can't even tell you how horrible it was. It was like a demonic, like a that type of a growl.
That's weird.
Yeah, we just heard a
We
growl.
just heard something similar. And it's gone again.
It's gone.
It's
No.
gone again.
We played it back, and it was the weirdest thing ever.
We
Your phone-
didn't hear that
Your
then.
phone.
Oh yeah,
is getting-
Denny, you'd forgotten about it.
Been on a while.
I wonder if I put her on my data.
Why don't you sign into that thing and then go on your phone?
Wouldn't mind sharing it with us, maybe, and putting it up.
We just lost your kids.
Yeah, I'm just seeing here then. It's Paul saying it's like The Exorcist. Simple says, I've gone again. Sound has gone. I've disappeared. This is weird because I'm watching, I'm talking, and you get the little highlight round your icon, and it moves when he's talking. Mine's doing that. So I don't know what the heck. And then I'm losing you, where you're obviously still talking, and you've gone completely, but people in chat can hear you. How does that work?
It's crazy.
Found one of them. That's across the road from my old house.
Yeah, Denny's just said here, freaky time. The sound mucks up every time someone or
in
I
the bedroom looking
tell
at
us
us,
the
and that's
door.
staring back at us.
Can't see that one.
You can't see
I
that.
have to put my glasses
She
on.
hasn't got glasses on.
Show me
Yeah,
something you haven't got me on.
Folk were saying then in chat, they wouldn't mind if at some point you want to share one of them little photographs you've gotten of the alien with
People
us.
just stood there with their arms around each other, just staring at us.
Shout.
There's no facial features or
Let me
anything.
find the others.
I'm not on about them.
We'll try and send them through again to that email what you gave us.
Yeah, please do, because I know
might.
just said she fancies seeing it. I know
Because it's a
Green
video,
Eyed
it
Reader,
might
everybody
not do
would.
that, but the pictures might. Because if the other video,
Do you know, Mrs. Mercury, it absolutely does always happen on the.
On again. Sorry, kids, we've lost you again.
Always happens.
Come on.
About aliens that get cut off.
We lost you again then.
That is so, yeah, Simples is saying they're gone again.
It said always cut off and then we lost you.
Yeah, that's weird.
My mum's phone is like ready for setting on fire. It's boiling.
It's happening at her end as well.
I know.
This one's not.
But yours is fully charged. It shouldn't be hot.
Well, this happened, didn't it? Did you hear? Were you here for Burren Witch when she was telling us about Lep Castle?
Yeah,
When
I
she-
think it's in my phone.
Yeah, and that night she's telling us the story, and because she's trying to tell us about this demon, she was cutting off. She was hearing things. There were bangs going on in the house, all sorts of stuff. There was stuff going on in my house, and we reckoned it didn't want to be talked about.
She told me to use them balls what Tibetan bowls, and the noise sends them away.
Yes. Yeah. Did you get one?
I've had them playing through me electrical devices to see if I could get rid of it. You know?
One about
You need more of the actual vibration of the actual bowl in the room.
Well, I thought if it comes through your
It's not the,
electrical devices,
it's not the same, really.
playing that through it might take it away.
It's not really the same. But I do get it. But you can buy, if you buy them, they are good. Do you mean one where you hit it and then you go around
Which one with the barrel?
and you go around with it?
Now there you go. I've lost you now.
And we can still hear you.
That's weird.
Is she gone now?
No, she's still there. It's still moving.
I'm working all right. Yeah, I just lost you then, but I don't know which of us chat would have been able to hear or not.
No, it's crazy.
That's
But
yeah.
your thing was still moving and everything.
Yeah, well, that's what I was looking. I was thinking I'm still thinking on screen.
No, I'm just saving them all for a folder.
Yeah, Simples could still hear you. Yeah, there's definitely something untoward going on here, which I find quite fascinating. Do you know what? Do you know what I think? I need to get Porky to go out your direction when he's going to do this paranormal night that I'm not involved in, the little guest. Get him to go out your direction.
Yeah, we're followed by everything.
Yeah, well, because obviously, and it's like only Burnley, isn't it? So it's not that far away. I should get him to go and take grounds at Townley Hall, shouldn't I, at night? And hopefully he'll not get mugged.
That photo I've got at Townley Hall.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend's got a photo of Townley Hall, and there's a black shadow stood at the side of it, and it's like, well, we even went down to see if there's any marks on the wall or anything like that. But yeah, Salisbury Hall, that were another level.
Well, I remember you telling us about the Salisbury Hall. That was the first tale you come up to tell us, wasn't it?
You're going on your own.
You're going on your own.
Because I will never go back in that building in my life.
Why?
Townley Hall have been loads of times and know what happened.
Can we go?
You can go.
I
promise.
Can we go Pendle back to the home? Back to Pendle Whitford.
Oh, Pendle Hill's a good one.
Back to Pendle Whitford.
My girlfriend's descendants of the Demdark family.
Well, do you know what? Well, one of my friends, she's descended from Alice Nutter, and she was saying and she's kind of into the paranormal and whatnot, and she said you get far better, going down at I can't remember if is it Barley or Sabden, where the little graveyard is, right at the back. There's a little house, it's right at the back of the house, and a couple of them are buried in there. And she said, don't go up the farms, don't go up the hill shed, go and sit in that little graveyard. She said, you'll have everything happening. Coming at you from all directions.
A team I watch on YouTube, they went there, and some woman came out telling her from the actual village that she was going mad at first, and then she ended up actually going with them and going because she thought like they were going to go in there and make being disrespectful, but they're not that type of group, because they're young, but they're not that type of group. They do respect it, and they pulled up in a big blacked out 4x4, and they got all the equipment. They've got thousands of pounds worth of equipment in cases and stuff. It's like, but she weren't scared. She was going off at them.
No. Well, hang on, I've lost you again.
What the flip with that noise?
What was that?
Kind of like a washing machine.
What the hell? What's going on?
Wow, what the heck was that?
I completely lost you guys.
Full Wi-Fi signal, so it's not signal.
Yeah, well, hello, are you still there?
Was you near a washing machine then, or something?
No, I'm standing here because I've got my phone on charge, and you was talking, and then I lost you again. But I'm talking, but it's like nobody can hear me, and I can see my little icon moving.
a noise
But
like a washing
because
machine was spooling up or something.
that's
It's gone again.
It's just knocking us off. And we'll I'll go back into chat and see if it does.
It's crazy.
no, it's no, I'm no Mrs. Simples. I really don't know what.
She's gone again. Right, I've got all them videos and
What of
Albert.
that little thing?
I've got photos and videos. I've got the one of where Julie was stood at the door.
Nobody can hear me.
We couldn't hear you then, you went again.
Yeah, I was going to say, from my end, I've got the little ring moving around my picture, but now Simples is saying gone, but no ring round your picture. And
Yeah, it keeps doing that for us with no ring around your picture.
Yeah, but at my end, the ring is moving around my picture.
That's creepy.
Is there any way to get these
We're getting
photos?
weird noises as
I've
well.
just checked on the thing. I've got full bar signals, and the Wi-Fi signals at 5 bar as well. So it's
Yeah,
definitely not the Wi-Fi.
Are you on
No,
YouTube?
I've got fully. I mean, we've got that brand new, you know, the Virgin super fast. Is it called
Yeah,
Internet
we've got
6?
the same. Yeah, we've got the same, and we're on a gigabyte. That's like 1,000 gigabyte.
Well,
internet speed.
that's what Porky's got because he does his game, and it's on. Is it a terabyte or something? I don't.
Terabyte, yeah, not a terabyte speed. That's
Yeah,
what I use.
so we know we've got mega fast internet, and there's no reason we shouldn't be doing this and cutting out like that.
And there's only 3 of us, 4 of us using phones.
My phone's dead.
Yours is dead, so that's 3.
My PS4's off as well. What's the channel? What are they on? YouTube.
Yeah, why? You can't put them on YouTube.
What's the channel?
You could subscribe to the channel.
I can get the channel up and I can see if it's doing it on this side.
Kids.
What's that? Sorry, love.
She's asking what your website's called. Your
Got it.
YouTube site.
Got it.
It'll tell you because I'm a
got-
member.
She is a member.
Yeah, it's just the most bizarre thing.
Yeah, I've just put hello
It's
in the
crazy
chat.
how it started off fine as
If
well.
you look in the
And
chat-
as you speak
Oh,
about
wait, I've
things,
got you.
it starts-
Double D,
If-
double DW.
Yeah, if they look at
Yeah,
the
that's
photo
me.
in the chat, that photo is actually a photo of that alien thing in your bedroom
What photo?
on your YouTube finger.
Oh yeah, the picture. I've actually put the
Let's
one of
have a
the
look
pictures
there.
I've got of
Oh, no,
the alien. It's like
It's gone again.
the actual profile
gone.
picture, innit? It's gone again.
That's supposed to be that alien.
The channel picture, yeah. It's like it's zoomed in to like see it, but
The one behind the chair.
yeah.
Let me try it again. Yeah, I'm just struggling to see it because I've obviously I'm in the oh gosh, hang on, let me move that.
There's no way to put photos.
No, you can't put photos on chat.
Can I?
We'd have to send them by email or.
Yeah, either that or if you put it as Julia as her icon because she's up in chat.
How do I do that? Send it to my mum.
You'd have to drop her a link.
No, mum. She can send you the picture, and I can change your picture.
Yeah, if you stick that, I lost you again. Then if you stick it there as Julia's photo, and then it'll be up on the main screen, and then maybe we might be able to see it then. You're absolutely right there, Frida. Lots of weird energy around tonight. Absolutely.
I seem to bring that with me.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a wrench, Double D, because you have to have a wrench when you come in my chat. So you're a mod.
Thanks.
We were talking about Jack the Ripper the other day. I'm interested in that.
could do that. Yeah, Julia could do that.
What if we get the? Would the camera work? Shannon, get the picture up on my phone. And if I
So
put
you
the
might-
phone up, it might show the picture. Put the brightness up.
The brightness is up.
Right. Get the picture up.
Right, let's have a look and see what we can see.
Turn the camera around.
What?
See it.
I think you can just see the reflection of my mum's phone. And if I close it, it's
Turn the
one
camera
minute.
around.
I can turn my mum's brightness down.
I'm going to say I can't make that one out.
It will reflect. You could just see the reflection of my mum's phone.
It's still
Yeah,
Hold on, there's a
either
bit.
that or, like I said, if you could try and maybe change your mum's. Or you can kind of, yeah, you can kind of see it. Is that like a head and two little arms?
It's one arm. It's like
One arm.
it's got it through the like chair on. It's like an office chair, and it's like got its arm through, and it's like peeking out. And it's got like a really long eye. You can see its eye there, and then its arms like through the arm of the chair.
Yeah, I can kind of see a little bit of it, but my God, oh, you definitely have to send us some of these photos. And Simple saying that it looks like a doll. But the thing is, though, you see some of these videos of them, don't you? And they freeze, don't they, when somebody's spotted them? And you think it's like a toy or a statue or a garden ornament or something, and then all of a sudden the little buggers move, and then you're like, oh my God. Don't know. Did anybody manage to see any of that? I tell you what, it really. I couldn't. Oh, Paul's just saying that you look like a friend he worked with many years ago. So you must have a double with the same beard over in Colorado.
But there's a family out there.
I don't think it's Colorado. Went to Alaska University.
Can you see the green lights on the back of the chair? Or is it too dark?
Let's have a look.
I can see.
Can you not turn the camera around the other way? Because the back camera might work better than the front camera.
I don't think
They're like
so.
little dots, you mean?
Yeah, them little dots
I can see the dots.
that just appeared on my chair for no reason. No. That was a straight after. Yeah, I took that, and then that second after.
Oh, not a video.
Oh dear.
Oh, no,
Sorry about losing, guys. This is the weirdest thing ever. Oh, lost you completely now. Oh, flipping heck.
You're already in the chat, so
All right, I've got you back.
Becky, you're already in the YouTube. So if you go to the YouTube,
She has to drop a link for him to join.
I've got you. I've got you. You're there on screen.
Yeah, she's got me, but
Mm.
he's saying, should he join chat and me come out and see if it changes? I don't
You
think
can
it will.
Pup, it's not a problem. I can have up to 10 people on a chat.
I think it'd be cool though if we're in the same room.
One of you mute it.
But
I can.
I can't show the pictures though
How
on
can
my
you?
phone if I'm on the live.
But if you're on live, you can put that picture as your profile picture, and they might be able to see it bigger.
It
Is what
his
she's saying.
profile.
All right,
But he's not on live, is he?
right. I'm gonna join now. Cause, yeah.
So the one where the thing's hiding behind the chair as your profile picture.
I'll link again. Let me have a. Oh.
I need to turn my picture off. What am I doing?
Have you turned your?
I hate pictures of me. I've gone now.
Is there a link
I'm
in
back.
chat?
It'll
Right.
come up as like a.
It's gone to just you. on mine.
It did. It come back. It's come back now.
Mm.
Right. Let me get this. So got the link. Right, there we go.
Alien.
So that link.
I don't know. I did a story, and then he came on about his alien bits, and then it started going funny.
I'll just walk out of the room.
Hold on.
I'll walk out of the room.
That projected
Go
on.
make a brew then.
Was that projected on? There's it.
What's that got to do with it?
I'm wondering if I could get the pictures on it. It's big. Turn the phone.
Well, I tell you what, it's been. It's. Oh, and the Simples is just saying, is it actually sat on the chair?
Yeah, it's like elbows are on the chair and it's got its arm like underneath the armrest and its head's like peeking over the top of it.
Oh, there you go, Simple. So hopefully you've heard that. Weird.
Creepy. I've got quite a few
Did it carry
pictures
on
of it as
doing
well.
it then, or did it stop when I walked out?
Stop.
It stopped. See it. I told her. It's me. That's like me.
Go make a brew then. You can talk. I should drop you a link.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
gone into
it's there.
Yeah, you'll have to come for a brew one day, Kiss,
What does
in a few
display
weeks.
name?
Oh, absolutely.
Display name. What did you put there?
In the area and
Let me in.
It's not letting him in.
So I put mine in.
it's not letting him in.
No.
Let's try it again.
Can I just put that there because I need battery?
Dropped it again for you, see if it works. Oh, there we go. Hang on. We've got somebody backstage. There we go. We've got her. Oh. Got a bit of feedback.
Yeah, I've muted my mic.
One of you'll probably have to mute.
Yeah, I've muted and turned my thing down.
Right, brilliant. You're all right now. All Simples is just what she said. Yes, Kiss, do a live from Julia's. We'll come and camp out in your garden. Wait for an alien encounter. Me and Pokey having a close encounter in your front lawn.
I won't put it past.
Yeah, Mrs. Mercury, all sorted now. I think there's just a little bit of a delay, little bit of a link. Well, while we're waiting for this, how creepy has this been? What do you all think of that? The minute we start talking about aliens, paranormal, anything, it all goes to hell in a handcart. But I'm fascinated to see these photos. I'll tell you what, though, while you're doing that, you should be. Personally, I would contact somebody like MUFON.
I thought about that MUFON thing.
Yeah.
That's in America, isn't it?
It is, but they have got contacts over here. And there's also, what's his name, who were in Red Dwarf? Oh, don't know if anybody can help me. He actually does a program about they're talking about UFOs and what have you. And Craig Charles, that's him, isn't it? That Scouse lad who was on Red Dwarf. Somebody like him. Who can actually investigate things proper for you without tech. Because the last thing you want is somebody taking the mickey. It's got to be somebody serious.
That's true.
I've convinced Paul to do a ghost hunt. Yeah, Frida is doing it. I don't have to convince him at all. He's got it all planned out. He's got extra equipment arrived today and some arriving tomorrow. He's got a rental.
Things like that.
Declan's asking, has he got a what? A Noculus?
A novulus.
Novulus.
Oh, I don't know what he might have. I don't know. I don't know what the heck he's getting at the moment. The only thing he's got that I don't agree with is, along with all the other stuff, is his camera, recorders, all the rest of it, and he's bought his Senna Weedy board, and I'm just like, no, don't be using that. If he uses that, he's on his jack. I won't be with him. Oh, here you go. Somebody called Steve Meara. Mrs. Mercury's just saying this. He's only in Bolton. He deals with all like UFO stuff and things like that.
We'll see if he's on Facebook or something.
Yeah, Steve Meara. So he might be worth. Thank you for that, Mrs. Mercury. He might be worth contacting. It's good. I will look forward to his future visits. Yeah, Frida. I mean, I don't know. He's on about doing one when I go to Scotland, which is that week of the 25th of June. However,
She's gone again.
Yeah.
she's got something else planned next weekend. So you never know.
Not showing it, is it? Another profile.
The camera might not be on.
Because I think you can do it. You can do it backstage. You know, in the backstage when you've come up onto stream, you have the option to put a photograph on there, and you can pick your photo. So yeah, just while they're sorting all that. So yeah, everybody will be. Oh, I've lost somebody. I don't know if it's Julia or a son, but one person's dropped off. But yeah, we're going to do. We'll have a really good. Obviously, I will go out to. What? Oh, Mrs. Mercury's dropped the link there. Thank you very much. And that's this Steve Meara, is it? I'll put that up on. I'll put that up on the main screen. Thank you for that, sweetheart. I've not heard of him, so I'll have a little look. So yeah, I think the ones that I want to join in with Porky, the ones where I can do a bit of history as well, you know. So because obviously my thing's the history side and he wants to do the ghosty side. So at least then we can do a bit of a share, can't we? You know, I can have a little bit to put on my channel, which is just the history, and then everything else goes over to his. But ideally, my first choice would be to do something out at the Viking grave cuts at at Heysham Head. Oh, hang on, we've got somebody coming back in. Hello again. We were just saying then that Mrs. Mercury's dropped a link in for that Steve Mearer, if you want to check him out, the guy in Bolton.
You're gone again. Yeah.
So yeah, he might be worth a contact. It'd just be nice to get some help for you, though, you know, because obviously there's a lot of unanswered questions, aren't there? And oh, brilliant! Mrs. Mercury's also added a link for the Phenomenon magazine. Thank you. Oh, you're on fire tonight. You are lovely. Yes, Simples he is. He's after having half a tub of the best double cream and about a quarter of a pint of milk. I know dogs aren't supposed to have dairy because of the lactose intolerance that they have. However, it has seemed to help him. He just gets so excited, and when he gets excited, he gets acid reflux. It's a bloody nightmare. I know, Frida, I've left the Viking stuff, and I shouldn't have done it really, because I started that off with all good intentions. What's this here? My fire's not been lit for years. Is this a euphemism, Mrs. Mercury? Your fire not being lit? Oh, hang on a minute. Right, we've got a photograph up there on the screen. Right,
Shall
come
I
on.
go down?
You eagle-eyed lot. Have a little look and see what you if you can make
I'm going to
this.
go down and make it. I'm going to go down, Kit, and make that bigger.
All right, Julia. Thank you, lovely. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, right, I'm with you, Mrs. Murphy. Oh, sorry. Do you know, I'm forgetting what I'm saying. Right, everybody, have a look. Right, I'm going to run. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm just going to run into the other room and have a look, because I've got this on the screen up on the 60-inch telly. However, my phone's plugged in the kitchen. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to run through to the lounge and see if I can make it out on the television. I'll be right back. Right. Little blurry for me. However, I'm presuming that black thing is the it's its eye.
Yeah.
Do I need to put my TV back on? I could see it better on the telly. It's still blurry. I can't make out any other features apart from what looks like the eye. It's really, but I mean, obviously, like you say, you've got it on video as well. Oh, now how weird is that? The minute we can see it and we're talking about it, it gets cut off. That's a bit crazy. Oh, Freed. Come on, baby, light my fire. Hot stuff. One's an arm, Mrs. Mercury. He was saying it sat with its kind of elbows on the chair and one arm through the back of the chair. Do you know what, Mrs. Simples? You're right. It absolutely doesn't want to be seen. The minute he's got that up on screen, we're acknowledging it. Bang, what's happened? Gone. That's the weirdest thing ever. I definitely think there's some form of an interference, though. I don't know what you all think, but because up to, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but right up to talking about that alien encounter that he had, the minute he started telling us about what happened to him and his friend, all of this electrical interference started happening. Because as far as I'm aware, there'd been no interference up to that point, you know, and we'd already been online for what, an hour? Up to then, maybe just over an hour. It'd be very weird if I go back and try and listen to this. Because I know a few of you said you'd heard things in the background as well, weren't you? No, Simples, I didn't think there had been any issues. I mean, some people do give off like, you know, certain energy fields. Maybe that's what it is. I really don't know. But I tell you what, it'd be really interesting to go over to that area, because I do know the area that Julia and her family live. I mean, it was quite close. It was pretty close to where I used to live. Now we're probably about, I don't know, 45 minutes away. So it's you know, it's not the other side of the country or anything. It's not that far. We're both familiar with the area, but yeah, I think that would be definitely a trip, even if not so much as going there, but you know, just the general area, maybe meeting up with Julia and the son for a little chat off camera or something. I don't know, but there was a loud noise and I thought you would put the kettle on. So long as there's no growling, because didn't Julia's son said they could hear growling as they were talking? That's a bit freaky. Well, there was me going to talk about the monarchs of England in honour of Lizzie. And instead we've talked about aliens, and it's been far more interesting. And what the rest of you got lined up for the weekend? Thought we'd just have a general chit chat while we're, just in case Julie tries to get back in or not. I have got a huge £35, and I've got it for 15. Wasn't off or anything. There was just a more than half price offer on, in special honour of our Lizzie's Platinum Jubilee. So yeah. Oh, I've gone again, have I? Oh man, this is absolutely bizarre. This is. Oh, half price. What? Half price leg of lamb. Yeah, you've missed the whole thing. I was doing this 35. Daughter and granddaughter's visiting on Sunday. Oh, that'll be nice for you, Paul. That'll be nice. Yeah, I'm going to do a Sunday roast, big lamb dinner, this huge leg of lamb. And then I think Porky was on about going to the cinema tomorrow night to watch Maverick. We have a family outing to watch Maverick, but he's going to bankrupt himself. We've literally, he went out and he spent, well, they went shopping the other day. I think it was on Tuesday, I think. And I think he came back 400 quid later. And then he took us to the zoo on Wednesday. So, I mean, that is so expensive now. It was just for the three of us to get in. And then we had a Subway for lunch each. 100 quid already just gone. I mean, I know visiting the zoo has never been a cheap day out, but it's just so expensive. Oh, yes, of course, Frida. I forgot about that. Frida was at the Simply Red concert with her daughter last night. I'm on cat duty for the weekend as she's away to Portrush. Oh, how was Simply Red? How was the old Mick Hucknall? I heard, oh gosh, it was a long time ago, and I went to a party, It was a girl who I worked with. She was a fair bit older than me, but you know, not old by any stretch, but she was a fair bit older than me. I think she was in her 30s at the time, and she was a massive Simply Red fan, and she was getting all these CDs out. She's got everything they've ever done, but she had a limited edition, and it was like 12-inch danced up of it, and it was absolutely brilliant, and I've never been able to find it. I put searches in, I've done all sorts, because I can't remember the name of the album, and lost touch with this girl over the course of a couple of years or so, because we weren't working in different places, but it was one of the best versions ever, and I really need to find it. So I hope you were up in the aisles dancing and cutting a few shapes. Oh, welcome back, Green Eyes. We've had Julia on and her son with a photograph of an alien, Green Eyes. So it might be worth you going back and having a little listen and a watch, because they tried to put the photo of the alien up on screen. Oh, he was looking very thin, was he? I think last time I saw him, he was looking like haggard. You know, like worn out old man. Well, it comes to us all, though, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know what's happened to them, Green Eyes, but since we started, everything was fine till we started talking about the aliens, because Julia's son came up telling us about his alien encounter, and then happened to tell us, and Julia told us about a possible abduction that she went through. Her son had about 5.5 hours of lost time with his friend, and then just threw really casually into the conversation that he's got some videos and photographs of grey aliens, because they visit him since he's had this abduction or this missing time episode with his friend all them years ago. So we've been looking at one of the photographs. So yeah, really interesting. And I thought, yeah, it's just up your street. Oh, his voice just as good as ever. Oh, brilliant. I went watching, now hang on a minute. I'm trying to think when it was. I think it was 2013 or 2014. My friend, for my birthday, obviously my birthday's in March, but this was in, I think it was October, I think. And we'd been to a concert at Bridgewater Hall in Manchester. It was actually a show. It was well, it was like Liza Minnelli and Judy Garland. It was like a tribute thing to them. And it was only because through her work, she had these tickets for free. So we went, they were brilliant tickets. And when we were there, she noticed that Tony Hadley was going to be on. And I love Spandau Ballet. I know I'm a bit retro for that, but I do like Tony Hadley. I know a lot of people think he's a prick, but I don't. Anyway, and I was like, oh my God, the Hadley's on. Well, for my birthday, she'd bought these tickets and they were brilliant. It was front row seats. We were right in the middle. We were having a crack with Tony Hadley. We did a meet and greet. It was absolutely brilliant. And they kept trying to stop us dancing. And in the second half, because the first half was all like new stuff, so most people hadn't heard any of it, you know, his new songs. And in the second half, then it was all the old classics, you know, all the Spandau stuff. Well, the stewards kept trying to stop people dancing, and in the end, they just had to give up because everyone was telling them to fuck off, and we all just got up. Everyone was cutting a few shapes. Fairground, I love that song. One of my friends liked that. I wasn't that fussed. His older stuff I liked. I'll tell you who else I liked as well. Do you remember Go West? Oh, here we go. Julia's son back in. ER Green Eyes. Back in chat here. It's about 2.5 feet to 3 feet, about the size of a 4 or 5-year-old maybe. Yeah, Green Eyes. Julie, your son seems a lovely lad. Yeah, they're nice family, very nice family, aren't they? All of them nice family. Yeah, so I think, yeah, I tell you what, Julie, it definitely doesn't want to be spoke about, does it? But yeah, I definitely think we need to do, we need to have more of a, I don't know, it's really got me metal up this. It's got me really, really intrigued, especially everything that's happened tonight while we've been talking. I think we should, what do you reckon? Should we do, if you fancy it, Julia, if your son and his girlfriend and you fancy it, do you fancy doing like just an alien encounters night, and we'll try and just focus on all this stuff with the photos and with the stories, and then see if we start getting any form of interference again, because it has been a bit of a pain in the arse, this the on and off thing, hasn't it? It's either that, or I'm going to bring my sister up and we can start talking about Boris Johnson bringing back white dog poo. I think I know which topic my chat's going to prefer, but I'll let you guys call it, eh? Freedom, no toll communication, all okay now. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? There's no other explanation for it, is there? That absolutely was, I don't know whether it's some form of energy field that is, you know, Julia and her son are giving off, or if it's whatever is attracted to them are deciding to interfere. But definitely, as Simples had said, and Frida and Mrs. Mercury didn't want to be spoken about, did it? What weirdness, I was looking at the alien. It's all of this tonight, Green Eyes. It was the weirdest thing happened the moment Julia came up and was telling us about the Ice Maiden in Siberia. That's a really interesting bit. If you go back and have a listen to that, you know, all the facts about her and what have you. And a son were in the background. Now, up to that point, everything was fine. And then a son's in the background. They were having a bit of a chat. So I asked him, would he come and tell us again about his potential abduction? We're going to say potential because he doesn't know what happened, the missing time thing. And the minute he come up and we're talking about, then I was live as far as my screen goes, but nobody could hear what I was saying. Then they were cutting out. My phone went from 65% charge to flat and I got cut off completely. Then I couldn't get it to work again. I couldn't get back online. They'd be talking and I'd be talking, but we couldn't hear one or the other. Chat couldn't hear me at all. And I was live. There was weird noises coming on in the background for no explanation. Julia's son could hear growls following their voices. There was some strange noise and people thought I'd put the kettle on. Weird. So, yeah. Yeah, Julia, we can, if you come and do some work on the videos and photos, like how we can get them on screen. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we can do that. It's just a story that needs telling. And it's so interesting. So interesting. Yeah, and like Double D says, that they definitely don't like being exposed. It is green eyes, and like they've said now, it's all back to normal. He was nearly crying discussing it. Oh, that's awful. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry that's so traumatic for you. I am, but I know, but it's weird, and like you say now, everything's back to normal. Everything's back to normal. I wonder if, I mean, I know we always laugh about the old, you laugh about people with tinfoil hats, but I wonder if something like that would work, when you're trying to do a live and there's some interference, if putting tinfoil around your head would actually work, or is that going a little bit too far? I don't know if I'm sounding too off the wall with that theory. Thanks for the chat, because need to do some maintenance. We'll listen. Oh, thanks for coming in, Paul. Oh, sorry, before you go, your sister, how is she? Is she doing okay now? I know last time it was looking quite, and although she'd gone through the mill, it was looking quite positive. And I'm so sorry. I think it's because I've been doing all this with my auntie being, having her accident and me being all at 6s and 7s. I'm forgetting my manners. I'm so sorry. Yeah, well, do you know what, Julie? It's worth a try, isn't it? But it's just one of those don't make it common knowledge. It's like his I don't know if you're still there, Kathy. How Kathy's doing. Oh, she's going to start radiation treatment. Oh, well, Paul, I hope that's all right. I hope she goes okay with it. Simple's just said, I've gone again. Really? Oh, for God's sake. That's absolutely crazy. So I've gone as I've started talking about putting tinfoil hats on to stop these signals from whatever it is that is it doing the interference with Julia and her son. Hope it works for it. Yeah, and yes, Julia. I think poor lady, she's been through absolutely through the ringer with this awful, awful cancer. So, every positive thought through there for Paul and his sister, bless her. But yeah, we definitely need to sort something out with this then, definitely, because I really want to look into, and I think like Mrs. Mercury had said, get in touch with that guy, that Steve Meara one. He's worth he'll be worth a chat, especially if it can help you out as well. Hello. We had a porky. Oh, I thought you were coming to see. We've had weird stuff happening. Where? Very on here. Very weird stuff. What, on your phone? On my phone, in a chat with Julia and her son. In a chat. And they were saying it might be worth us going over and having a brew with them at Burnley. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think you're right there. Oh, Green Eye said hello. I said hello through a gob full of crisp. Yeah, I think that's right, Julia. If I don't mention it again, but I don't know if you heard then. Porky's up for that. He said we can, come over your direction, have a meet with you, and have a little bit of a chat and see what's what. I'll see how you're fixed. Hey, maybe I can get him to come over next weekend or something for an hour or so. But yeah, I'd be very, very interested in doing that. I'm just hoping that I can hoping that everybody can still hear me now that we've just said we're not going to talk about anything that doesn't come from this place. Oh, Green Eyes come for a brew. I miss hearing people say that. Oh, yes, you go away, don't you? Now you did tell me where you were going, and I've forgotten all about that. Because you're going for a couple of weeks, aren't you? Or about 3 weeks, is it you're away for? And I know I go away on. I'm away the last week of June. I come back. I'll be back here on the 3rd of July. Well, I think we should get something sorted for July. Then I'll get Porky to sort it out. But what I might do is get him to maybe next Saturday see if we can get out over your direction anyway, just to have a mooch around in the dark and see what's what. Oh, Stonehenge, brilliant. Oh, yeah, Frida, she's lucky beggar. She's still got a man there with her. Oh, Stonehenge it's weird, isn't it, Stonehenge? Because when you see the photograph, you just think that it's going to be in the middle of, in the wilds, and it's actually not. There's like a really busy road right there. That's right, that was it. You did, because you said you're going to the Crop Circle Museum, didn't you? Right. Yeah, there until the 8th of July. There's I'll tell you what then. It's if you go into Stonehenge, are you going to Glastonbury at all? Or not Glastonbury. Well, actually, yeah, either Glastonbury or to Avebury. And I think it's Avebury. There is a shop, or there was a shop there. I'm sure it's Avebury. And that is all relating to aliens and what have you in the village. Now, maybe somebody there can give you a little bit of information. Lucky you, Julia. I would love to go there. 40 years in the UK and never got to it. I'm torn. I'm torn, Green Eyes. I don't know whether I would want to see it. Do you know what? It's because I'm a big wuss. I think that I wouldn't want to see something in case I open myself up for a visitation, if you catch my drift. Oh, no, Frida, it must be wonderful, mustn't it? It's like, when I said to you all the other week, I'm so envious of all you guys, and, like Green Eyes now, having that time with your mum, it's just wonderful, isn't it? Absolutely wonderful. Has she enjoyed having the Jubilee over there? And also, were there any beacons lit in Australia? Oh, right, Julie. Well, have a look, because I'm sure it's in Avebury. I'm sure, because you've got the Avebury stones as well, haven't you? Which aren't, obviously, they're very famous, but people don't, well, outside of the UK, don't really seem to have heard of the Avebury stones. But yeah, I wondered if there were any beacons lit there, because didn't it start off, was it I think it was Papua New Guinea, wasn't it? Was the very first of the beacons to be lit. And I think the very last one was something like, was it Belize? Have I made that up? I know there was one lit yesterday here. Where I used to live, there were beacons all around there. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, the beacon in Canberra, I've recorded the programme for it. Oh, that's lovely. People say, are you happy? But I think happiness, just moments. Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely bang on right there, Frida. Well, I was thinking, Sydney Opera House. Old buildings of the city lit up purple. Oh, that's lovely. There was supposed to be, I never heard it here, but there was supposed to be firework and lights display last night. They were lighting a beacon at the top of Blackpool Tower. Go figure. I mean, yeah, fair enough, it's a landmark. However, it's not exactly a traditional beacon, is it? So I was expecting the beacon to be kind of at a point on the coast. But anyway, it was being lit at the top of the tower, and then with fireworks and a light display. But it was absolutely hoovering it down. So I didn't bother going. I stayed in, being a miserable get, because Porky was working last night. So I think he's off now until he's ended up buying us a chippy tea tonight as well. And then yeah, so that's going to be, because that's no cheap do either, is it? You can't do anything for cheap, can you, these days? Everything costs an arm and a bloody leg. You're watching the show tonight. It's on UK TV on satellite. Oh, right. Oh, yes, of course. You mentioned that earlier, didn't you? Oh, Double D, I'm going to go do some gaming now, guys. Hope to talk again soon. Hope you all have a good night. Thanks for listening to me tonight. Bye, guys. Good night. Oh, thank you so much for coming on. And well, you never know if you I don't know if you play, what gaming you play, but Porky's got his own channel. He's playing, I think it's Phasmophobia. They're all playing tonight. So, you know, always look out for him, Pork Chop. But thank you so much for coming on, Double D. And like we were saying, please come back and tell your stories. All the guys in here are fascinated, as am I, and we'll definitely get something sorted in July. We'll give you a programme all of your own, and we'll get something sorted with the photos. Thanks so much for coming in. You take care. Thank you, love. Bye-bye. Wouldn't it be funny that if he plays the same games as Porky and I hadn't realised? Porky plays Phasmophobia tonight and hang on a minute. Daisy, that's it. Yes, Green Eyes, that's Julia's son. Well, it was Julia's son and his girlfriend. I think it's like both of their accounts. But yeah, lovely lad. Yeah. Oh, brilliant there. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, he plays Phasmophobia on a Friday night. He plays Daisy most of the time. I think there's another one. Is it called 7 Days to Die? I think. Something like that anyway. They play all these zombie games, but yeah, I mean, I can hear all the screaming and laughter going on up there. There's a big crowd of them playing this Phasmophobia, and he's just drinking his whiskey, getting pissed, eating crisp, and just screaming, laughing down down his microphone. Do you know what, Green Eyes? He is a lovely lad, isn't he? Absolute credit to you, Julia, if you're still there, love. Nice lad. But yeah, I hope somebody will help that lad sort out what happened with. It definitely sounds to me. Actually, let's see if anything happens to my sound again now, because it definitely sounds to me like Simple said, they've both had a different experience, haven't they? So I'll get her to join, get kiss number. Oh, thank you, Julie. That's kind of you. Thank you. You're a boy. You play hidden object games on your tablet. Well, I play Bubble, but the bursty bubble ones. It's called Bubble Rush or something. Can't remember the name of it now, but yeah, I play that all the time. I'm not a gamer. I don't do anything like Porsche Challenge or any of these shoot 'em up games. But no, sometimes he pulls an all-nighter. So he'll do a good 12 hours of up there, and I'll run up with like supplies, I'll give him like brews or something to eat, and yeah. That's your limit too, you're useless at it. Isn't it funny? I never played Candy Crush though. That kind of didn't float me boat at all, so I never played that one. trying to think what else I played. Actually, I've not used this yet. Porky got me one of my Christmas gifts. It's this thing that you plug into your telly, and it's full of, I think there's like 100 retro games on it. Because I was like, what the heck is it? Yeah, I've played them games, but I like my first-person shooter games now. Call of Duty, yeah. Oh, yeah, Porky plays GTA as well, but not all the time. I know them long nights a week. I'm going to go now, though. Bye, guys. Thanks again. Night, love you. You take care. We'll see you soon. Hope you kill everything in your path on your game night. Yeah, but this thing you plug into telly, and because obviously, I mean, he didn't know I wasn't into games and so on, but basically, it's got all the old, like retro games that you would have got in pubs and things on the machines or very early computers. So stuff like Pac-Man, and I think it's got like Donkey Kong and all sorts of stuff on it. Used to play Road Rash. I've played Crash Bandicoot. Some of the retro games, but oh right, okay. I've not used it yet. He was just trying to tell me about it. He said, "Oh, you just plug it in your telly and you can play all these weird games." And you know, like the tennis game that used to be in pubs, that boop, boop, boop. Oh, Sonic. Oh, what was the other one I used to like? About Echo the Dolphin. I liked Echo, and I liked Crash Bandicoot, and what else did I play? Oh, I played this one time. Oh, am I making you want it? We didn't get one. You'll have to ask Porky where he got that one of mine from. I need to put that in actually. We got this. One of our friends had played this Castle. Is it Wolfenstein? And Tetris. Oh yeah, Tetris, Julie. That's the other one as well. I've never played Angry Birds. I've never played that one. But yeah, Tetris. But yeah, one of our friends had done a copy of this game for the PC, and it was called Castle Wolfenstein. And for some reason, I had a real problem saying this word. And the funny thing was, their surname was Wolfenden. This is the friends who'd give us this copy. And we, whenever we were drunk and taking the piss out of my friend's husband, we'd call him Wolfenshit instead of Wolfenden. He'd go, hey, Wolfenshite or Wolfenshit. So we started calling this game Castle Wolfenshite. And it just stuck over the years, and I was trying to explain to someone this game, and I totally forgot it was called Castle Wolfenstein, and I'm calling it, yeah, that Castle Wolfenshite thing. Luckily, they did know what I was talking about, but Space Invaders, yeah. I used to love Space Invaders, but I got really aggro with it. And then the other game I loved, it was, do you remember you'd get it on, oh God, was it Windows? I think it was Windows 7. When you got a laptop or a PC and it had it in, it automatically came with a Pinball Wizard. Do you remember that one? And I remember it was on our work laptops, and I'd just sit there playing. I'd either play Solitaire, Spider Solitaire, or Pinball. I've had 2 owls move in the palm tree in my front garden. They're a couple, wondering if there is any meaning to it. Well, Green Eyes. Not that I'm meaning to worry you, but have you watched The Fourth Kind? If not, I'm not going to say anything else about owls. If you have, then you know exactly what I'm referring to. Mario. Oh, do you know, I never really got into Mario either. All right, you haven't. Right, Green Eyes then. In that case, I'm not going to say anything else, but the owls in that film have a significance. I'll leave it there. It is frightening, Green Eyes, so don't watch it. Because I know what a wuss you are. It's about aliens. It's a true story, and it's called The Fourth Kind, and it's got that Mila Jovovich is in it. She plays the lead character. I think we've talked about it before when you've been in here. Have you watched it, Frida? Sorry, a bit of a thought. Could it be StreamYard's fault when you have an interruption? I don't know, Julia, to be honest. I don't know enough about StreamYard, to be fair. But, you know, we're chatting away now and nothing's happened. Yeah, well, Green Eyes, what happened was, sorry, guys, for anybody who hasn't watched The Fourth Kind and is intending to watch it, please look away now for the next 5 minutes because I'm going to it's going to be full on spoilers now. And I'm going to tell Green Eyes. Right, so I'll give you a little clue, Green Eyes, without giving you the whole of the film away because you've not seen it. I think it's on, is it still on Prime, Frida, do you know? It was on Netflix as well, but I think it might be on Prime. It's on one of them anyway, right? So this is based in a little town in Alaska called Nome, and there is a psychiatrist, and she has quite a lot of patients from the same town. And she notices a similarity. They're all having like disturbed sleep patterns. And oh, right, okay, so you've got it right. So this, I'll just give you a little clue. Oh, and Julia, watch it as well. To not watched it, I don't think. Right, okay. Well, you might find this quite interesting. So she notices all these patients are having similar stories when they come to. They're having keep having these, fitful sleeps. I'm knackered, blah blah blah. And I keep waking up to the bleeding owl looking at me through my window. This owl, and she notices they're all mentioning owls, all of them, owls, this, owls, that. She mentions it to one of these patients, and they're like, yeah, they've been seeing this owl since they were a little kid. Anyway, as time goes on, she decides then one of these patients wants to have hypnosis to try and find out why he's having these issues sleeping. And when she hypnotizes him, now this is where it's really good because you've got Mila Jovovich playing the character and they split the screen. So it's showing, she videoed all of these things. So it's got Mila Jovovich playing the psychiatrist, videoing the actor playing the patient. On the other half of the screen is the actual video footage of the patient and the real doctor talking to him. And Mila Jovovich kind of talks over, at the same time. It's brilliant how they've done it. And Frida's watched it, so she can agree with me, I presume, on that. It's really clever how they've done it. So when she hypnotizes this guy, he has the absolute terrors, right? He's climbing the wall. He's jumping over the back of the sofa. He's knocking lamps over, vases, everything. She brings him out the hypnosis. He's terrified. She has got no clue what's going on. And then it turns out that, I'll not give you any more of the details of others, but these owls that everybody sees are not actually owls. The owls they're seeing are an image that has been implanted in their brains so that they would not be terrified by remembering what they had actually seen. And what they'd actually seen was not of this world. Okay, when she's regressed them, they no longer see the owl, they actually see the aliens that have been visiting them, and they are terrified. So that's the significance with the owl. I'm not going to tell you any more about the film because I don't want to ruin it, because there is a lot more to it, but it's well worth a watch. So I don't know what you think of that, Green Eyes and Julia, and anybody else, Simples as well, anybody else who's not, who hasn't seen it before. Favorite films, Fifth Element with Mila J. Yeah, she's really good in that. She talks. She's got such a soft voice, hasn't she? So yeah, it's a good film. When I watched it, it scared the living daylights out of me. Not because it's frightening as such, because of it being something that's happened, and it's very. It makes you think. Let's put it that way. It really makes you think. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. Have you seen it, Bedtime? That Fourth Kind. It's just the weirdest film ever, but yeah, very it frightened me. How's Voodoo Queen getting on, by the way? Is she all right? Oh, you want to watch it, Bedtime? It's freaky as out, or freaky AF. Because it's on Prime, but you have to buy it. But I just checked, you can get it on YouTube. Oh, brilliant. Oh, well, there you go. YouTube it is for anybody who hasn't seen it. I'm sure it was on Netflix for a while. Thing is, though, they've got such a rapid turnaround, don't they, of films and what have you. There's quite a lot coming on that I'm looking for. She's good, listening in and chilling out. Oh, well, Voodoo, if you're around, we miss your chicken. And if she's not, please give her all our love. Watch it during the day. Yeah, Green Eyes, you know what? I watched it during the night time and I shit me pants. I ended up ringing my friend up. He's really into aliens. And it was my friend who Gav, he lives in Sheffield, tough as old boots, but he loves aliens and stuff like that. In fact, I'm going to get Gav to join my channel because he'll love all this chatting and whatnot. So Gav told me to watch it. He texted me one night. He's like, "What you doing?" I said, "Oh, I've just sat watching the telly." He said, "Oh, well," he said, "Here, watch this. Have a watch of this film." And he's telling me it's an alien one. I'm like, "I'm not into UFOs, babe. You know that." "No, get it watched." God, did I curse him? I rang him up. Then I think I rang him at about 3-4 o'clock in the morning because I was too scared to go to sleep. And obviously where I was living, you know, coming from Wealton, it was full of owls. As you all remember, we had owls up every flaming tree and an owl sitting on my damn chimney at night hooting. So at the time, the owls are having a party outside. I am shitting bricks. So I ended up ringing him up and waking him up and made him stay on the phone with me for about 4 hours until it got daylight. I was really scared. Yeah, Freed, it's a daytime watch, isn't it? So I have watched it since. I did watch it again, but I watched it in the daytime with a couple of friends. And I could actually take more in during the day, whether it was because it was daytime and or because I had some company. But yeah, I think watching it at night on my own was not a good move, especially living in an area that was full of owls, because I was just like, they're coming to get me. So, but yeah, it's a very good film. But there are a lot of things that are coming onto Netflix at the moment that I've been putting onto my reminder list. So I'm going to have quite a lot of things to watch. Need to get them all watched before I go to Scotland, because I'm going to be missing you guys, because I can't have I can't get a signal up there. I might get one if I go away from the cottage. I might go up to the forest, and there are a couple of high spots there, and might be able to do your little mini live while we're out and about. But yeah, it's going to be dark for a whole week. Jackster and Coopster are going to be away. Greenhouse, just reading comments on YouTube, people saying it's the scariest movie they've seen. Yes, it is, Green Eyes. I think it's scary, not for a shock factor. It's scary because it's happened. You know, it's like like The Walking Dead doesn't scare me because it's kind of, you know, zombies, whatever. The Exorcist scared the shit out of me because that can happen and has happened. Jaws scared the shit out of me because it's real. So a film that's real and the film that will happen, you know, they're the ones that scare me. Shit, just watched a trailer. Don't think I'll be able to watch it. Julia, it won't scare me. It happens for real to us lot here. Well, give us no, Green Eyes. Watch it in the daytime. Maybe don't watch it with your mum though. You don't want to give her a bloody coronary. But it's worth watching. Bedtime might go live in the morning from the lake. First time this year for me. Oh, brilliant! Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, give us So hang on. In how many hours? What time are you there now? Bedtime, Clown. I have to work it out so I can see if I'm around. I'm presuming it's Is it afternoon where you are? Is it about 5 o'clock, something like that in Texas? I'm going to start singing again, Anna. Love that song. All my exes live in Texas. Oh, 12 hours from now. Oh, right. Okay. So you're like 11:30. Yeah. So we're on 25 past 11 p.m. So 25 past 11 a.m. over here. Yeah. Brilliant. Oh, yeah. So you're about 6 hours behind us. So, yes, if you're going, so you'll be going about 5 in the morning then, something like that. I know I've missed his lives, Green Eyes. It'd be nice that. The Exorcist didn't bother me, but Jaws, I could not watch it again. No, the Exorcist was scary. Anything that I think VQ won't be there, she wants to sleep in. We'll all come and keep you company, won't we, ladies and gents? Yeah, I like your lives bedtime because you just make me laugh, and it's nice having a chill out. And I think I could really do. I need some. It's been a very, very stressful week here. With everything that's gone on, and I mean, you know, bless him. I've been that stressed out and worrying about my aunt and what have you. And me and Porky had a little fallout the other night just because of me being completely, totally over the top sensitive and worrying and what have you. So yeah, I need I need a nice little bit of chillaxing, and I think that. Oh, she's getting a beauty sleep. She doesn't need a beauty sleep, Frida Baxter. Have you seen her? She's bloody stunner, is our voodoo queen. Got like, I don't know, like me at the moment. I look like a dog's bloody face, like a dog's bum wearing a wig. God, I've got bags upon bags under my eyes. Absolute nightmare. May not catch anything, but surely it would be a beautiful sunrise at least. Oh yeah, that'll be great. So what time, when's dawn there then? I think it's going light here about I think it's coming, you know, obviously it's not official dawn, but it's coming light. I think it's about 20 past 4:30 in the morning here. Yeah, Frida, she said that. I know voodoo is beautiful. She absolutely is. Well, everybody, let's hang on. I'm going to put. Let me put bedtimes up on screen. Right, for anybody who isn't subbed to Bedtime Clown, please go to his channel, give him a sub, drop your link for your channel, and if you want to, Bedtime. And he's hopefully going to do a live in the morning from the lake in Texas. So it'll be roughly 11 a.m. UK time. So it'll be like 5 a.m.-ish his time. Okay. We can all come and join you. Hopefully I won't be seasick. I'll try my best not to puke in your boat. Yeah, I tell you what as well. Please, for us, Bedtime Clown, when you get more time and you're back to doing lives at home, you know, of an evening or what have you, can I make a request? Could you please do us another music night? Oh, and 8 p.m. in Australia. There we go. So 5 a.m. in Texas, 11 a.m. in the UK, 8 p.m. in Australia. And if you're anywhere else in the world, sort your own fucking times out because we're not doing it for you. But yeah, I would love that. It was great when you were playing your guitar that night and for Salty, and we were all in here and you came up. It would be lovely. Let's have a sing-song, have a sing-along a bedtime. Frida wants to know, bedtime, are you fishing on the lake? Julia wants to know, Green Eyes, what time is it now over there? It's early morning, isn't it? Hang on. Is it about 9 o'clock in the morning, is it? Green Eyes? You know what I'm like, I can never work out Aussie time. Oh, I was half an hour out, not to worry. Bedtime. Just give me time to learn it if I don't already know it. Do you know what? All the songs are your choice. It was just lovely listening. It was really good. I really enjoyed that. You did really well. Everybody loved it. Juliet had a rough night. Woke at 1 a.m. Lied here until 3 a.m. Hated insomnia. Oh, I know. It's a bloody nightmare, isn't it? Oh, so bedtime is going to try and catch something. Well, you know what you need to do? You need to speak to the fish. You need to use that Norse technique of calling the fish to you. So I think you need to do that. Call the fish. Call the fish. Let's see if we can. Hey, maybe I shall do it from this side. I'll watch it from here and do silent coaxing of the fish onto your line. What kind of fish are in that lake at bedtime? Just out of curiosity. Ooh. Oh, do you know, this has been a really nice chat this tonight, hasn't it? Nice and light-hearted, and you think they don't want to sew lip. Oh, is it catch and release? Is it not catch and cook? Right. Sorry about the rattling. I am going to try to type they don't want to get caught. I'm going to have a mince. Honest to God, my mouth is as dry as an Arab's foot in the desert, as my nan used to say. Well, she'd actually say as well, did anybody else used to say that? Mouth like Gandhi's flip-flop? But yeah, I mean, I know as you said that, oh, he's like an Arab's foot in desert. Frida says, Green Eyes, I can't remember the last time I slept a full night. I only seem to sleep for about 4 hours, then wake up for about an hour, then go back to sleep again. You're like me, Frida. I have, and I'm convinced I've got sleep apnea. Made fish and chips last night, gold band snapper. Oh, what does that taste of then, Green Eyes? Obviously fish, I know, but exactly the same, even with sleeping tablets. Well, the funny thing is, Green Eyes and Frida, the middle of my sister's 3 daughters has sleep apnea. She was diagnosed with it when she was about 5. She had to sleep, with this monitoring thing on her, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Julie's the same. Green Eyes can't always get back off to sleep. That's my problem. I can't get, once I'm awake, that's it. Julie, me too. I think it's getting older or something. So my niece had this check for this sleep apnea, blah, blah, blah. And then my sister started, God, it's probably about 10 years ago, something like that. Now, she is quite overweight, but she was having, I can't remember what the problem was, and I think it was a heart. I'm sure there was something. She'd gone for a checkup, but something was up. Her blood pressure was high as well. And then they checked her. When they found out about my niece having sleep apnea, they then checked, and my sister's actually got it, so she had to have this monitor on her and so on. Now, my ex used to say to me, he'd wake me up, he'd go, you stop breathing. I thought you were dead or what have you. And when my sister had been diagnosed with sleep apnea, and I'd said to him, maybe I've got the same as my sister has, that she got diagnosed with, maybe it's this sleep apnea thing. But I've never been checked out for it. Now, Cooper, when I got him, and he still does it now, sometimes, usually you go to bed, he'll just go in his bed at night, and sometimes I'd wake up with him licking my face, and he's not a licky dog, but he'd be licking my face and going mad or pawing at me. And my friend we were on holiday, and she said she actually witnessed the dog getting up and starting at my face, and she said, you gave this breathe in but didn't breathe out. She said, I thought you'd had a heart attack or something in your sleep, because I literally went like and that was it. And so I think when I've been waking up, Cooper has actually been trying to revive me from him thinking that that I was dead. And Porky has said I've never done this before. He said I've started snoring horrendously. And I've never been a snorer. I've bought one of those things that you put in your nose, to stop yourself snoring. But apparently, with this horrendous snoring thing, that could be a bit of sleep apnea and this disturbed sleep, not being able to get back to sleep. So I'm thinking of maybe getting checked out. I'll just go back through the chat. Green Eyes, it's a bit like cod, very white fish, but it's a Queensland look. Oh, very nice. I love fish. Oh, did she snore a lot? Yes, Julia. Yes, my sister did snore. I've started doing it as well, which is why I'm wondering whether that's what I've got. Just seems it's funny, isn't it, that, my niece has got it, my sister's got it, possibly I've got it, I don't know. Oh, mushy peas. Can you get mushy peas all right down there then, Green Eyes? I bet you don't get Babby's Yed and chips over there, though. Only steak, though. I don't like steak and kidney pudding. It's just got to be a steak pudding. But I love that in Wigan. Babby's Yed and chips. Sorry, for those people who are in America, Babby's Yed is a baby's head. They call a pudding because it's a suet pudding and it's smooth. It's ball like a baby's head. And it comes in a little metal, like a tinfoil case. and they steam them. But in Wigan, because of what they are, they call them babby's heads, babby's yed. So they'll ask for babby's yed and chips, and if they want it to stay warm, because usually they'll take the little tinfoil case off it. But if they want it to stay warm, because it stays warm longer in the case, they'll go babby's yed and chips and leave thelmet on, which is the helmet, like a biker's helmet. They import mushy peas and marrowfat peas. There is English chippy about 30 miles away. They do Hollands puddings. Oh no, Green Eyes. You know what's the nicest thing from Hollands? They do a catering size. I think they make it for pubs, or they used to do. Catering size chicken tikka masala. Now, I like a good Indian, but I have never tasted a curry as nice as Hollands chicken tikka masala, because they're only at Accrington, aren't they? At Hanging Bridge. So it's not that far away. Just got to say, I don't know if you can all hear me rattling it round. This Everton mint in my gob is one of the nicest mints I've ever had. It's lovely. Oh, God, I'm having a choke on that. Well, I'm thinking tomorrow I might actually start this lamb leg off tomorrow late afternoon, do a 24-hour slow roast. I love it like that when it just drops off the bone. And none of this bloody Gordon Ramsay leaving lamb pink. Leave a steak pink. I like a raw, like basically a raw steak. I can eat raw steaks, no problem. But lamb, I think needs to be slow cooked, so it literally drops. As you pick the bone up, the lamb just drops off. Oh, Frida, you're like me. Porky hates vinegar, so it makes it heave. You know what I say? I want fish and chips with tons of vinegar on them, and the vinegar has got to be swimming in the bottom of the carton from the chippy. I bet. Did you eat, your black peas, Frida? And you always have them served with loads of vinegar on them. Just thinking how much it must cost to get Hollands puddings bloody imported to Australia, or exported even. Like I said, not so bad so long as it's just the steak. I don't see the point in putting kidney in a pudding. It's just not right. Lamb, the Brazilian steakhouses here are awesome. Oh, well, we have one in, there's a chain over here called Ben Brazil. And they do all what's it called? The radicchio. And they bring, so they'll cook like huge chunks of meat, and they have them on these hanging skewers. And it's eat as much as you want. You just keep, you have a green card and a yellow card. A green card and a red card. So you'll hold them up when you want a bit more. And oh, you went to Fleetwood yesterday, but had a chippy on the front. Well, we're talking of, I keep saying to Porky, I want to go to Fleetwood and get some fish straight from the docks there. Because you can buy it straight from, some of the little shops. Usually if you go midweek, though, I don't think they do it at weekends. But yeah, so we're thinking of nipping up. Well, you've obviously driven virtually past me then, Julia. You should have popped around for a little brew or a chit chat. Love vinegar kiss. Apparently helps with your digestion. Well, I have I have a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar every morning when I get up. I've found, actually, usually it tastes absolutely minging. However, I sent Porky to get me some, and he got me a make that I've never had before. And I think it's either Japanese or Chinese, and it's called Osu, O-S-U. S for sugar, OSU, apple cider vinegar with the mother. So it is the original, like the organic stuff. It actually tastes, when you take a sip of it, it actually tastes a bit like cider. It's very appley. It's lovely. Oh, it's the same there, is it? Bedtime. Okay. Went Farmer Pa with the grandkids. Oh, okay. Lovely. Lovely. Should have gotten to Pear Tree Farm where they have the mega size desserts. That's something worth visiting. I know I've talked about this with Mrs. Mercury before. So, well, guys and gals, I'm thinking it is midnight here. I'm thinking of winding this up now, only because with doing all these hospital runs and what have you, I have been absolutely shattered. I've stayed awake longer than I thought I would, which I'm quite pleased at. But thank you all for coming in and being here for tonight's live, which has been very interesting. I've enjoyed this with absolutely no structure and talking shizzle. Again, if I think I will do discuss those Walter Sickert paintings in a bit of depth, and because I've got a lot of the clues. I know I didn't give it away in the photographs apart from the Ennui photo, the Ennui painting, the one with the painting in the back, the painting within the painting of Queen Victoria. So I really would like to just discuss those and maybe throw it out at you all so you can say, oh God, yeah, I never thought of that. So that's what I would like to do with those. And then obviously don't forget, everyone, then, if we're all up and at 'em in the morning, in the UK specifically, and in the evening in Australia, let us join Bedtime Clown on his boat while he tries to catch things. They are, Julia, but there's some real I mean, that, did you notice that La Hollandaise, the one where it looks like quite a chubby nude, kind of sitting partially upright and semi-reclined? And it's that one where you need to look at it and then look at its face, because it's very easy to overlook it. He's done it very cleverly, and you kind of focus on the body and the background rather than the actual features. But when you're drawn to it, like I'm hoping to do with you guys, especially if you go back and have another look at that video I've put up and look at that face, it looks quite, it's made it look a bit skeletal, but not. It's weird, and it just reminds me of how Mary Jane Kelly's face looked, or what was left of her looked. So yeah, have a good look at that one. It's well worth a good discussion, but especially Ennui, and then we've got the whole of the Camden Town Murder series. That there are 4 in that. Julia, night everyone, catch you next time. Yes, all nude ladies, not models, and all look dead. They absolutely do, Julia. They really do. It's just, yeah, definitely the product of a very disturbed mind, I think, anyway. So and thank you so much, Julia. Thank you for coming in and coming up once again with your son. Really appreciated that, despite the technical difficulties and all the alien-induced weirdness. Let us know how you get on with that film as well, The Fourth Kind and Green Eyes. Definitely got to watch it. And even Bedtime, if you've not watched it, well worth it. Frida, kiss and chat. Thank you so much for a very interesting, informative chat. Night all. Night, Frida, my love. You take care. Hopefully see you tomorrow on Bedtimes if you're around. Who else have we got? Night Kathy, if you're still there. Bedtime, Paula, Green Eyes. Have I missed anybody? Oh, Sam. Sam was around as well. I don't know if Meadows listening in the background, but anybody I've missed, speak now, speak up, or forever hold your cod piece. And I will see you all in a day or two. Might even try to get something in on Sunday night, depending. So thank you all for coming in. Have a lovely rest of your evening, wherever you are in the world. See all of you hopefully in the morning on bedtimes. And if not, I will catch you in a day or two. So thank you for all your support as always. And once again, see you all on the bright side. Bye. Oh, there she is, Kathy. Night, night, love you. I'm glad I caught you. Bedtime clown after party at my place. Right, there you go. Over to bedtimes. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.